Fire me up, baby! Ah! Let's go!
This guy's silky. Oh yeah, happy Monday. Chicago Hockey Radio is back. I hope you're all doing lovely on this beautiful Monday. It's beautiful in Chicago, at least. We had an exciting weekend full of really good playoff hockey games. We've got a packed show because we got to get into all of them, tee up the games for the week. We've also got a Mount Rushmore to get into. Before we do all of that, I am Lee Grossman. With me, per usual, is Mr. Justin Lynch, a.k.a. B-Hawks Memes. Raven Gasser on the ones and twos. And we have Tassos Kirkos back in full force after a really good weekend for his Greek ice hockey team. So we are at full strength here in Chicago Hockey Radio, and we got a big show for you. Before we do that, if you're new here and you have not yet, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit that notification bell because we do these shows live every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We've also been streaming a ton of these playoff games at night, which have been a ton of fun. And follow the Instagram, Chicago Hockey Radio. We just posted the schedule for the week on there so that you don't have to miss anything. We've been trying to crank out some fun content on the Instagram and the TikTok as well. So follow us on those platforms. And then if you listen to us on Apple, even if you don't listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and you have those platforms, go ahead, head over there, give this show as Justin is showing you, a 5-star rating and review, because that stuff helps us out a lot. Mr. Justin Lynch, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing splendid. Thank you, kind sir. Another good weekend of playoff hockey in the books. The World Championships underway, the most prestigious tournament in the land, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Frank the Tank going off over there. But no, good weekend, and can't wait for another good week of playoff hockey here. Man.
Yeah, Team USA right now is losing 3. They're about to lose 3-0 to Switzerland. So that's not great.
That isn't ideal. Yeah, I mean, Nazar did score like 2 goals and assists the other night, but I think it was also against the powerhouse nation that is Hungary. So I mean, we'll take that for what it's worth.
1960, baby.
Yeah, Tassos keeps reminding us that the United States has not won this tournament since 1960.
When it was the Olympics, like they would give. So before a certain date, when the U.S. won that World Championship, they would, in an Olympic year, whoever won the Olympic gold medal would also be named the World Championship winner that year. So that's what happened in 1960.
Oh, woof.
So the U.S. didn't even win the World Championship when they last won the World Championship.
Okay.
Isn't their last actual World Championship win like 1933 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yikes. I mean... Yeah, and you can't even really use that excuse of the fact that it takes place during the playoffs because, like, they're still sending over pretty good teams over there. So you think they'd be able to win at least a couple.
One. You said
like, Canada's had no problem winning these tournaments, and they've had a lot of their best players out during the playoffs too. So that's the one thing about that tournament that kind of sucks. It would be nice if it took place during a time where there's no asterisk and you could just send your best squads. But anyway, this is what it is for the U.S. It would be nice if they could break that drought one of these days, but. It just seems like they're not really built for that tournament. They're the Maple Leafs of the World Championships.
Sidney Crosby and Nathan McKinnon are still there.
Yeah,
so
yeah, and
good players.
Canada has a loaded squad.
Canada's team is nice.
We're treating it like the Olympics this year.
We posted on the Chicago Hockey Radio Instagram yesterday. We posted the highlights of Nazar and Tavo and Reichel's highlights, and I have seen a bit of an overreaction from Hawks Twitter just over these performances. Like, people are like, "Why is Lucas Reichel not playing top line minutes? Look at what he's doing to Kazakhstan." And it's like, chill the fuck out.
Like, Lee, I think the competition that Connor Bedard faces in his summer roller hockey tournaments in Vancouver are probably higher than that of some of these World Championships teams. So that's great. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, love to see our Hawks going off in that tournament. I think Teravainen had a goal for Finland as well against France, which is definitely known to be one of the great hockey nations. So good for Turbo there. But like, you can only take away so much from that.
Yeah. It's not like this is. Exactly. Point made, Justin. You can't take too much from a game against Kazakhstan or Hungary or France, which France was about to beat Finland yesterday. They scored and
they blew it.
They were up 2-1.
3-1.
Scored the empty netter to make it 3-1. And then Finland pulled their goalie again, obviously, because it's still just a 2-goal game, and scored twice to send it to overtime, and then won it in overtime. So you got to feel for that France team. That would have been a big upset win for them. But I don't know. Tavo's aura was just too much for him, Justin.
Yeah, that was the goal that really got them back in it. France was really dominating that game. So Teravainen took the four nations personally and decided to do something for his own country there. So, yeah, I'd love to see it. And hopefully Sodi can play well for Sweden as well. I'm not sure how much he's going to get in there, but it'd be nice to see him get some good W's there.
Yeah, Sweden, Finland playing in like a few moments. So that's going to be a banger, as we know. That's a big rivalry there.
That's right. Not just Soda, right? Sorensen's there in the Swedish. He's a part of that coaching staff. So might be the full-time Blackhawks head coach, getting some reps in the World Championships there. So,
is Anders Sorensen the best Swedish coach ever?
I mean, we've got to start having those discussions if he comes away with this World Championships here. It's definitely a legacy moment for him. So actually might mean something, man. Like if Sweden does really well over there, maybe the Hawks take a look. I'm just joking over here, but only half joking, because like, I don't know, like the longer this goes on.
Guys, Anders Sorensen is going to be the coach of the Blackhawks next year. I just want everybody to just be ready for that and be expecting that, so that like don't act surprised when it happens. That's all I'm saying. I just want it out there so that none of you can act surprised when Anders Sorensen is still the head coach of the Blackhawks next season.
I like that skit you put out. Basically, like, if it's like the worst case scenario offseason where it's like we don't even get a new coach, Mara doesn't come over, who knows what happens in the draft. It's just like we're just preparing ourselves for disappointment, so that either way we're going to end up pretty in a good spot here. We can't be underwhelmed.
Yeah. Like set the expectations super low this offseason. Look, guys. The season ended very well for the Blackhawks. These young kids looked phenomenal. I mean, the past, like the last couple games in specific were awesome. That's what we get. All right. And that's a lot of hope coming into next year. And if we're not able to make big additions to the roster, like a big name, like a Mitch Marner, or even like a Bennett or a Best, whoever it is, I don't care. Look, next season's still going to be so much more fun than this past season was. Mm-hmm. There's still hope. It's not like we need to fold the franchise if we don't get Mitch Marner this summer. So just temper expectations. And then if GMKD is able to make some magic happen this summer, then it's just a bonus. Then it's just like we get a CHR emergency press conference in the summer, yada, yada, wins for everyone around. But if not, it's okay. That's my outlook right now, Justin, and I think it should be everyone else's.
Summer with KD, baby. The league ain't ready. He's going to be barbecuing some massive W's here, so looking forward to it, hopefully.
Barbecuing some massive W's. Speaking of barbecuing massive W's, the Rockford Ice Hogs were not able to do that yesterday. They get reverse swept by the Milwaukee Admirals. Did you watch much of it? Because I was streaming. Did you get to catch any of that?
I watched it a little on the side. I was mostly focused on your live stream, obviously, in the Leafs Panthers game, but I was kind of watching. I was doing kind of that dual screen thingamajigger. So that was, yeah, it was. You hate to see that. I mean, the Ice Hawks had a 2-0 lead in that series too. So it was, like you said, it was a reverse sweep, and they even led that game at points, but kind of got away from them. There was this Korchinski play where he kind of turned the puck over behind the net that led to the Admirals tying it up, and the game kind of got away from them from there. And then overtime, I think Sanford or somebody had a delay of game, and that gave the Admirals a power play right away, and they scored right away in that overtime. So that was a shame. He had 2 goals in that game, so I'm not gonna blame him for it. But yeah, it's too bad. Like, it would have been nice to see him go on a low run here, but still, I mean, they won a series and they went pretty far in this round. It's a young team. Like, that's a pretty hard test. And the AHL normally it's the veteran-laden teams that perform well, especially in the playoffs. So the fact they took this young Ice Hawks team and had a pretty decent run, I think we can feel pretty good about that. A lot of players you want to see play well did. Like, Artie was great. I know Kevin had a mistake, but otherwise I thought he was pretty good. Korchinski, Doc was good. Pretty much everybody you want to see play well was pretty good. So Camasso had a strong start, tough finish, but so did the team. So and now they can really get their off seasons worked out and kind of get those regimens in place. So if anything, it might be a good thing. Yeah.
I asked this question on stream last night, and I don't know if it would like actually happen, but I would love to get your response to this hypothetical. Would you trade the 3rd overall pick and Kevin Korchinski to the Islanders for the 1st overall pick?
3rd overall pick and Korchinski for the 1st overall pick. Well, it guarantees. I mean, I would assume the Hawks would take Misa at that pick, and otherwise would probably take in Martone or whoever. I mean, I still feel like there's the possibility that Misa could still drop to 3 naturally. You know what I mean? Like, if the Islanders really want James Higgins, which it seems like there's actually quite a bit of smoke around that. So, but I guess from that standpoint, it's like, why would you take him at 1 then when you could just trade down? So I consider it. Yeah, I mean, Korchinski, I still believe his potential, like we've said many times, but there's some instances he makes, some plays he makes where it's like, I don't really know, if you know what I mean. So I'm not as confident in him as, say, Renzel, Classic, Artie, those guys. So he's definitely the most expendable. So you're gonna have to give up something, basically. You're gonna have to sacrifice something if you want to really, be aggressive here. So if that was enough, I'd probably consider it. Yeah.
Okay. If it was enough, you would consider it. I would do it, to be honest with you. I would do it. I don't know if the Islanders would take, because that's what some people in chat were saying last night. I don't know if the Islanders would take that. But I guess it would all depend on how badly the Islanders want to draft James Higgins.
That's kind of what I was saying, whereas I almost don't know if that would be enough for them, right? I feel like you almost have to throw in more there, right? So if you could, awesome, that sounds great. But it does sound like a bit of a franchise mode type of deal there, which, but who knows? Like, you just don't see that happen very often, teams trading the 1st overall pick. Like, they'll just take James Higgins if they want that badly, right? So,
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we get into? I mean, it was a great weekend of hockey. Do you want to get into it with me?
Let's get into it. Yeah, let's dive in.
All right, so that first game on Friday, Panthers Leafs, a 5-4 overtime classic. And before we get into this game, I just want to say that I think this series is turning into a classic. Like, especially just after all the physicality from last night, which we'll get into and stuff later on. But I mean, this thing is brewing to be a classic series, and it's been so fun to watch so far. But yeah, I mean, Panthers. It was a must-win. You do not want to go down 0-3, and the Leafs started well. Like, I think people were writing the Panthers obituary there. They were up 2-0 in the first period. What were your thoughts with the Leafs start? And, where was your head at that point of time?
Well, overall, I would agree with you. I think this has probably been the most entertaining second-round series so far. But yeah, like, I'm not going to lie, I was getting a little nervous there. The Leafs had 2 multi-goal leads in this game. They also had a 3-1 lead, and they blew both of them. So, but yeah, like, the Leafs started off pretty well, and it's like, man, they were super close to making this a 3-0 series, man. And it's like, even the Leafs, I don't think they'd be able to choke a 3-0 lead. I mean, you never say never with that team, but that would have been a pretty huge win for them. But no, it was a must-win for the Panthers, and they woke up after that. But no, I mean, I've had confidence in this Panthers team, but like, I'd be lying to you if I claimed I wasn't nervous after the Leafs went up 2-0, and not just in this series, but in that game. But I still felt pretty good that the Cats would get back in, and they did. So credit to them there. That's what they do. They're always good when they face adversity. Good teams, that's what they do. When you face adversity, you find a way, and that's what they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't know. There was a lot of like alarm bells being rung on Twitter last night from Leafs Nation after, and of course, obviously everyone's going to criticize the Leafs because it's like, as Tassos has said on the show, it is a very easy thing to do. But like, I think if you're the Leafs, you can't be overly concerned about the way these two games went. Like, yes, it's not ideal that after the start of being up 2-0 in the series and then also being up 2-0 in game 3, that you're now all square going back home for game 5 at 2-2. But like, I thought the Leafs looked really good for most of the game on Friday, and in the core 5, I guess we're adding Nyes now to the core 4. I think that's business fair. Point, right? It's the core 5. Yeah. The core 5 all had 2 points. I mean, the big dogs showed out for the Leafs. It's just the Panthers started to come alive, and this is like that Florida Panthers team that I think we're used to seeing that we didn't see in the first 2 games. The offense got going a bit there. The goaltending was on both sides, to be honest with you, in this game. There were a lot of like bad bounces, like the obviously the Marchand overtime goal, which we can get into, was off Riley, but then there was a Leafs goal that was off Forsling that wasn't going to go in. There was a Leafs goal off Seth Jones goal that wasn't going to go in. So
we've seen that before.
Yeah, just a lot of pucks getting to the net in this one, and just like bad bounces, which we obviously didn't see last night. But yeah, I just feel like the Leafs were that close to going up 3-0 in this series. They were that close to going up in 3-0 in the series, and people are acting like, oh, it's done now. Now the Panthers are just gonna destroy them for these next 2 games and win it in 6. And it's like, I personally don't see that. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think it's fair though for people to come to these conclusions. It's like we haven't seen it before with this Leafs team, where it's like they had a shot, they had an opportunity, they kind of let it slip away. Now it might come back to bite them, right? But as much as it was maybe the Leafs, I thought, like you said, they played decent. But I think it's more just the Cats have found their game, right? And once they find their game, it's hard to beat them. So I think it's as much on the Leafs maybe not playing as well as the Cats playing better. So I think it kind of goes both ways there. But it definitely feels like they've got their swagger back. Like they look like, like they have the confidence back, and they're playing like they did when they won the cup last year and all that. So I think once they find their game, it's going to be hard to come back here for the Leafs. But I'm not going to say they're out of it though. Like I think I definitely favor the Cats in 6. I'll say 6. You might say 7, but I think just the way they're playing, the momentum's on their side. Like I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas. I don't think they're going to look back from here. But for the Leafs though, look, you got to remind yourself it's still a tie series here. It's 2-2, and you have 2 games at home, and they have 1 the rest of the series. So theoretically, like you should be just as much in this as they are. But I think once the mental game and the media and all that stuff and the talk start to catch up to them, it could be hard to block out the noise. But you got to be used to that at this point, right? Yeah.
I think they have, honestly, just with the way they handled business in the Ottawa game, especially after losing that game at home and then going and getting it done on the road. Like I think they are used to the noise now. But like I really don't think the noise is gonna be like the factor in this. Like I don't think it's gonna be the Leafs crumbling that's gonna be like why the Florida Panthers are gonna win this series. Like I do think Florida's gonna win this series, but I think both these teams are so stacked. Like, I really do think these are 2 tremendous hockey teams, and we're just witnessing a classic series. And yeah, I'm going to lead towards the Panthers because they've been there, done that, and I just like their roster a little bit more. But I still think the Leafs are going to have a lot to offer. One point I did want to make on the Florida Panthers side of things is that I think the roster changes that they made heading into Game 3, having Gadjevich and Nasic come in for Boquist and Sturm. Obviously, I mean, they scored the go-ahead goal to give the Panthers their 4th goal. I think you got to keep that. I mean, those guys add size. It's less finesse. It's more size. It's more Florida Panthers hockey. I mean, both those guys are like big dudes. Like I think both of them are like 6'3" or something. So I think you got to keep those guys in for Game 5, and obviously they didn't play a ton yesterday, but I think that lineup change was beneficial for the Cats.
Yeah, I don't think Boquist needs to be playing playoff hockey. So yeah, I would agree. I think that was probably the right call there. Definitely look better, and I think from a standpoint too, I think I wouldn't say it's really goaltending too. Like I think Wall's done a solid job, right? And, I don't know if Stolarz really changes that much too. So I think that's another storyline I've seen. But it's like I think Wall's been pretty good, especially that game last night. Like he kind of kept the Leafs in it. So no, I think the Leafs have it's as much as the Cats have found their game, right? They're a hard team to beat. They're the better team. Like they should win this series. Like the Leafs are damn good, definitely the best Leafs team we see. They're giving a fight. Gotta give them credit. It's a close series, but I mean, I don't think you could shed them too much if it goes to 6-7. It's like the Cats, I mean, I think you put a fight against that team, you can feel pretty good about it. Yeah.
And then Brad Marchand gets the overtime winner, the Leaf killer, the rat himself. Yeah, I mean, it was electric. I can't lie. I smiled watching that and just seeing the Florida team just celebrate that one. It got me on my feet. I don't know if Tassos is here to give his thoughts on this one. I know he was doing Greek ice hockey stuff during this one, but I think he'll probably have more to say about Game 4, if anything.
I'd like to expand on Marchand, though. How about that? You couldn't ask for a better ending there. Of course it was him. Like, when I saw it was him, the OT winner, it's like, yeah, that was just meant to be. I saw a stat. Apparently he has like 33 career playoff points against the Leafs or something. Like, that's absolutely unreal, dude. 33 points against one team in the playoffs. I mean, yeah, he's faced them a lot. Obviously, they've been in the same division. I mean, what is that? Is this his 5th series he's faced them or something? So I guess I shouldn't be shocked by that.
Per game. He's over point per game against them.
That's still unreal, though. I mean, I imagine there's no other team he has more points against than the Leafs. So pretty impressive. And he stays owning them. Doesn't matter where he is. The rat in Ratland is owning the Leafs. So you love to see, especially on the weekend of his birthday, too. His birthday was yesterday. So yeah,
happy birthday, nice Brad. Happy birthday, Brad, from CHR.
Very much so.
I think we have to give credit to Bill Zito and the Panthers organization for bringing this guy in, because, I mean, look, if he's not the hero in Game 3 there and the Leafs are able to take it in overtime, we're
a different series.
It's a different series. It's a different outcome. Now we're talking about how the Panthers are still in this, and now it's all leveled and are favored again. So yeah, I mean, such a massive goal, such a massive acquisition from such a small person in Brad Marchand. So yeah, just shout out to Marshy for that one.
Yeah, it wasn't guaranteed it was going to work out here, right? But it looks like he's fit in pretty seamlessly there in that third line there of Lundell and Luosterain, and they've made a big impact. They've started to show themselves in this series, so it's been good to see. But it's never a guarantee, man. Like, you get all these players in your team, but the chemistry doesn't always work out. We've seen it before. We saw especially with that Rangers team in 2023. They brought in all these guys, the Canes, the Tarasenkos. It's like you could have all these great players, but it's like sometimes it just doesn't work, right? The synergy isn't there. But the Cats, they bring in Seth Jones, they bring in Marchand, all these guys, and if anything, it's made him better. So it's been a seamless fit. So, and then he's always found a way to make that work, Bill Zito. It doesn't seem to matter who they bring in, just it always seems to work. So credit to them. They just seem to have it figured out. Yeah.
And I do think that third line, I mean, has been the only line for the Florida Panthers that's been good this entire series. And Maurice has been starting them and putting them out against the top line for
feels like
Toronto.
The first line right now.
I know it really does, because he's been playing them against the Marner, Matthews, Nyes line, and they've looked good. So
matched up well. Yeah.
I predicted that line would be the difference in this series, and I'm happy with that prediction that I made. Okay, I think that's enough for that game. Let's move on to the other game on Friday, which was the Winnipeg Jets versus the Dallas Stars. The Jets bounce back after a Game 1 loss at home and win a decisive and dominant Game 2 performance, I'd say, from the Winnipeg Jets, winning 4-0.
Yeah, they definitely need it, right? I mean, you got to get at least a split at home going back to Dallas. So it was a convincing win too. Like you said, kind of dominant, decisive. So 4-0. The Charlotte Stars team like that's not easy for all the firepower they have in that squad. So good for Hellebuck. He looked like a regular season Hellebuck for a game, and then yesterday happened. But no, Friday was good for Hellebuck. He's good at home. He's still stout at home in the playoffs. So it's a different story. But no, good for the Jets, right? I mean, I think there goes my sweep prediction. I said it'd be a sweep. So I'm at gentleman's sweep, so I could still be right about that. But no, I mean, it was definitely no.
You cannot adjust that now and say you meant gentleman's sweep. You did not mean that, because I think I
tried to sneak in there.
I predicted a gentleman's sweep. You fucking rat.
Oh, it was you who said that. Oh, okay. I tried to steal your prediction there, but you noticed.
Can I ask you something though? Like, yes,
sorry,
like Hellebuck has obviously been better at home, but how much is it that the Jets have just been
one
significantly
game.
better at home? Like, because I mean, they
haven't lost at home. Actually, they lost one. Yeah.
They completely fell apart yesterday in the third period. Like, I think this Jets team as a whole has not played nearly as good on the road as they have at home. And, you know, maybe that's a testament to how good that fan base is in Winnipeg. But, I mean, yeah, you're getting completely different performances, not just from Hellebuck, but from the entire Winnipeg Jets team on the road. And I mean, if they're going to want to win this, I think they're going to have to win a game on the road, because I do see the Dallas Stars winning one in Winnipeg. I don't know about you, but I think that's kind of how I see this going.
That's what I meant to say, actually. I mean, they have won once, or they've lost once at home, but like otherwise they've won pretty much all their games there. But you're right, they have not won a single game on the road in the playoffs, and that's a problem. Like, you're not gonna be able to ride that home ice advantage all the way, right? I mean, that's what when the President's Trophy's for. They got on that seeding, but it's like it gets a Dallas team, like you're gonna have to find a road win somewhere in there, especially since they took one in your barn. So that's not ideal. Like, it was a great one game for them on Friday, but it's like it didn't really change my outlook on this Jets team for the whole series. And I think Sunday especially showed that. So I just think that team is too damn good, but at least the Jets are putting up a fight and making it close. But they should. Like, they had too good of a season. This team is too good. Like, really, this should be a 6-inning game series, but I still don't get the sense that it will be. Like, I still have a feeling the Stars are gonna pull this one out pretty quick here, but we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets haven't shown us the ability to play the same game on the road as they do at home.
Yeah.
And it's just like these games on the road just feel like they get away from them in like, it's like always a 5 minute
and then they just lose
span.
it.
No, but it's just a 5 minute. It's not like they play dreadful on the road. Like, it's not like that Jets performance yesterday was bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad at all. I mean, shit, that game was deadlocked at 2-2 for a long time there. They played a really solid first two periods, but it's just like these 5 minute stretches where it feels like they just shut their brains off. All of them, not just Hellebuck, the whole team, the defense, the forwards, everybody. They just break down for 5 minutes, and that ends up costing them these games. And so, yeah, they haven't proven the ability to overcome that a single time, in my opinion, in this playoff run.
Yeah, you just can't afford that in the playoffs too. Like, you gotta be perfect, man. You can't afford to just lose it for like periods in a game, because like that could be what costs you the entire game. So something they gotta figure out, but it's been pretty consistent problem for them. And it's like they haven't really shown me any reason that they're gonna solve it anytime soon. So it gets to seem like the Stars that they're gonna bury you. Maybe you could get away with that against the Blues, but not against this Dallas team. Yeah.
I do still think though that it is worth giving them their credit for that game two performance. I mean, to be able to shut down, especially with what kind of heater Mikko Rantanen's on right now. I know the Stars have a ton of forward depth, but it's like it's been all coming from that first line of Mikko and Hintz. For them to be able to shut them out, and like, I thought Hellebuck made some unreal saves, and then a big game from Ehlers, a 3-point night for him, and then I thought that Lowry goal was sick. I love Adam Lowry. I won't lie. I think he's a
perfect little third line player there for them, and he's their captain too. So the captain doesn't have to always be the best player, right? But he's like one of the best leaders there, underrated, a good two-way player. He's just a perfect guy to have for playoff hockey, right? He's just kind of built for this style of player, right? So definitely a big part of that team's identity, but good for Ehlers too. He had 2 goals and assists. Like, he's been kind of quiet since come back from injury. So it's good for him to kind of get back in it there. And he's a big difference maker in that game. So maybe a potential future Hawk there, who knows? But, he will be, his contract is up there. So maybe something to take a look at there. But no, for the Jets, right? Like you said, it was good for them. They already won one more game this series than I thought. So, credit to them there. But kind of got away from Sunday there. But yeah, you brought Mikko Rantanen, man. I saw a crazy stat. Apparently he's figured in on like 15 of the Stars like last 16 goals or something like that. Like, that's absolutely unreal, dude. Like, just an absolute heater this guy's out. We could get into it more when we talk about the Sunday game, but it's like he's on just an absolutely legacy tear right now, man.
Yeah, I think this game we've pretty much exhausted the talking, just because it was a really good performance from the Jets, and then the Stars. I mean, they just couldn't get anything going offensively. I think a lot of the talking points from this series came from the game yesterday. So we'll move along here to the Saturday slate, unless you had any other thoughts on that Friday game.
Well, I mean, look, we've been slandering him a lot lately, so I gotta give credit to because we saw a shutout from playoff Hellebuck in the year 2025. So credit to him there. He had a nice bounce back, and And yeah, we'll see. Yes, he has been better in this series, I will say, compared to which he has to be. Like he has to be better if they want any chance, and he has been for the most part. So, but yeah, they need more from the squad here. Man.
I agree. Okay, so the first game on Saturday was this Canes Caps game, and I think that was what we expected. No, like
yeah,
we've kind of been waiting for this performance from the Canes, where it's like. Justin, I feel like we've both said they clearly look like the better team at this point. Yeah. We've talked about how good Thompson has been for the Capitals. But look, you can't lean on a goaltender that much for that many games in a row. Like the floodgates will open.
Yeah, this Canes team's too damn good. And Thompson's good, but like he's not going to be a goalie who like, carries you through a series against a team that's built like that. So very dominant win for the Canes. On the scoreboard, too. Like, they've had a lot of dominant games in these playoffs, but they haven't always shown the score, right? Yeah. A lot of 1-2 goal games. But 4-0 for the Canes, that's basically like a 7-1 game, pretty much, like the way they play. So, credit to them there. Very decisive win at home. And they're definitely another one of those teams that just, for whatever reason, like at home, they just seem to be unbeatable in the playoffs for whatever reason. Not always the case away, but very good there for them and take the series lead. And, yeah, definitely a sleepy game for the Caps compared to game 2. And look like maybe they can make it a series. And it still is. It's 2-1. But yeah, just the way the Canes looked in this game. It's one game, but I already got the sense that this could be a quicker series than maybe I expected, which maybe I should have expected it. But things could easily change there. But it just seems like once that Canes team gets rolling, it's just such a mismatch for the Caps. And even Freddie Anderson, like he's been on it, man. Like a shutout for him. Like he's been good. Like if there was one concern with this team, maybe it would be goaltending. But it's looked pretty good to me. It's looked just as fine as as the Cap side of it. So credit to them there. They keep their playoff dominance going at home. And yeah, if I think for the Caps, you just got to find a way to get more going for your top guns. I mean, you can't really afford that. I mean, Ovi's been kind of quiet in this series. I think I saw a stat like he's played his ice time has been the lowest in this series than like any other for him. So he hasn't really been able to get anything going, and the special team's been quiet. So if they can't get the power play going, they're gonna have a really hard time. Even straight, they're gonna get killed by this team. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Anderson, Anderson's been good. Like he obviously a shutout, but I just think the Canes were just suffocating them defensively. It just felt like the Capitals couldn't get any good looks offensively. And in regards to the Ovi thing, it's just like you can't be rolling that guy out there playing 17 minutes a night, 5-on-5. Like he just doesn't have the legs to do that anymore. This pace of play is too crazy, especially with the way that this Canes team is structured and the way they play. They kind of just...
It's a nightmare team for him. Yeah.
It's just like this Canes team is just super responsible defensively, and then they just come at you offensively in waves and just pour high volume. And it's like you can with that style, you can make these games close, but it's like if you're not getting the really good offensive zone looks, you're going to get beaten and broken down by this team. And I think that's what we saw there in game 3. And I think the storyline for the Caps to have any shot in this, they're going to have to figure out a way to win the special teams battle, and they're just not doing it. I think I have it right here actually. They were 0 for 2 on the peeper, while Carolina was 2 for 2. And that's the difference.
And that's the issue. I think for the Caps to go far in these playoffs, like a lot of it's going to go through the special teams, but it's like they're facing off the one team that might be better for that regard, especially when it comes to the PK. Like, there's probably not a team in the league that has a better penalty kill than the Canes. So the fact that they will shut that power play down, it's not good. It means the Caps have to get something going even straight. And against that team, like you said, it just plays this defensive style where they just break it down. You can't get anything going. You don't get any rush chances going. No open looks. No time and space. Like it's a nightmare for this Caps team. It's just totally built for that style of play. So. Not built to face that style of play. So, yeah, like a lot of the concerns I have this Caps team are kind of being shown in this series right here. Like I kind of always feared that with them. It's like, okay, they had a great season, but it's like, how are they going to face against a real team that's really built for the playoffs like this Canes team? And I think we're seeing it right here. It's a bit of a mismatch, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, Justin, they went from playing the Montreal Canadiens and looking good, and it's like,
it's like it's the Canadiens.
That's one of the worst defensive teams in the league.
Team, I'm sorry, like they might be in the playoffs. Like that's not a playoff team if you catch my drift.
Yeah. I mean, terrible defensive team to one of the best, for years now.
Could be more different.
Most reliable defensive teams in the league. So, stark contrast in matchups here from the first to the second round, I think, for the Caps. And, I don't know. They're going to have to get this. I really do just think it's going to be special teams, dude. Like, they need the power play to click. I don't, I just don't think that their roster is as good as the Canes. So, I think if the rest of the series is played 5-on-5, I think the Canes win. But
the Caps' depth, it's been a lot of people praise their depth, it doesn't really matter against this Canes team. What you need is top end, and honestly, if this Caps team doesn't really have a ton of that, let's be real here. Their top end is 39-year-old Ovechkin and Dylan Strome. That's their top end. No disrespect, but it's I think the Canes is better than that, to be honest with you. And I know they didn't have the same record, all that in the regular season. Who cares, man, about the regular season with the seeding? Nobody cares. Doing the playoffs, right? So look. It'd be nice to see him go on a run here. I think I want to see that team go far, but it just feels like it's not really meant to be honest with you. But we'll see if they could steal one here. But if they can get one, but they can't just rely fully on Thompson, man. The guy gets up and going offensively, but it's I just don't really know how you do that against this Canes team. Just the way they're structured, it's they have to do something different. Yeah.
I also feel like it's worth pointing out. I feel like Svechnikov has just been on a tear. He just looks so dangerous.
Kind of waiting for that for him, right? Yeah.
I mean, he's got 6 goals in 8 playoff games so far. He could have had 2 in this game on Saturday. Yeah. He ripped one off the pipe just before the goalie scored. It feels like he's so confident watching him right now. Anytime he gets the puck on his stick in the offensive zone, he is letting that thing fly. That's a scary guy to be dealing with every single night. And I think that's the thing here between these two teams is the high end talent there is in favor of the Hurricanes, I think.
Mm-hmm. This is the best he's ever looked. Svechnikov's a guy, you'd never be able to question the talent with him, but at times the production hasn't always been there, especially if you look at his playoff record, it hasn't always been that good. But this year, he's been absolutely locked in. Good for him, right? He's been the best rusher in this series, so credit to him there for sure.
Yeah, their scoring has definitely gone through him. Okay, moving on, unless you had any other thoughts on that one.
That's fine. That's probably the series we have the least thoughts about, if we're going to be real. But, it's kind of played out the way I think we expected. Definitely been the sleepiest of the round 2 series in contrast to the Leafs Panthers. But actually, one more point I'd like to say, though. Yeah. I don't think playing the Canadians was really a good thing for this Caps team. It's yes, it was an easy first round win, but it's they didn't really face any adversity in that series. Okay, they played well the Bell Center. They did win a game, but it's for the Leafs, you got to play a sense, at least kind of gave them a fight and had some comeback. They had to face some adversity, which is probably good for them to face against a team like Florida, right? But the Caps didn't really get that. They played the weakest team in the playoffs. And I think just to go from that to the Canes is such a stark contrast. So I think in the long run, that might not have been a good thing for them.
That is a good point because, it almost is you're starting the playoffs again because it's you're facing this massive jump in your opposition. And so, there might be a point to be made there is if you maybe face a little stronger team in the first round, sure, it maybe dings you up a little bit. Maybe it goes to 7 games, but at least you got that under your belt. Hey, we were able to battle. We know what we can do. Whereas now you're facing the adversity here for the first time. And honestly, for the first time all year, because
they haven't really faced adversity all season.
This is the point I made about the Capitals fucking 3 months ago, bro. Is what happens when you're down 2-1, 3-1 in a series. It's been sweet all year. You've had Ovechkin chasing this goal record. It's been so much fun. All these guys having career years. What happens when you're down 2-1 in a series? And
we're about to find out, right?
To find out.
Yeah, but I think just with that Cavs team, it probably felt like they were still playing regular season hockey there, and now it's like you said. You're in it for real here. So it's a legacy moment. We'll see if they're really for real here in a bit. We shall see.
And then the next game on the slate, predicted wrong by yours truly. What can I say? Guys,
you haven't got a single Rose game right, have you?
If you guys want to make so much money, take my prediction in an Oilers playoff game, fade it, super profitable. I think I've been wrong on every single Oilers game this entire fucking postseason, dude. It's unbelievable. To be fair, I thought I was cooking early on. To be fair, they started the game with a 2-0 lead, and at that point, I'm like, oh my gosh, with this team and how good they've been playing offensively, this could get ugly. The Golden Knights showed some resiliency, just like Florida did in Game 3, coming back from 2-0 down.
I was just gonna say that.
Sorry,
damn
it. Sorry.
No, you're cooking. I'll keep cooking. Yeah.
But I mean, to come back, that showed guts. I mean, seriously. Yeah. I did not write off Florida after they went down 2-0 in Game 3. I wrote off the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 3. I was like, this is probably it here. This is probably going to be the series. What a comeback from them. What a response.
I don't remember what I said. I don't know if I completely wrote them off or not, but I'm pretty sure I did say, the Oilers are going to take it. I don't know if I said they're going to like sweep them or anything, but it just felt like the role they were on, the momentum they had. But also I think they had won 6 straight. It felt like at some point had that in there. So credit to Vegas there. But yeah, no, like you said, very reminiscent of Game 3 for Florida. And now it's a series. I mean, you take one in Edmonton, right? It's a series now, and just the way they did it. I mean, there's been a lot of those types of absolute cinema endings in these playoffs, right? As Elliot Friedman, I think he even said it too. I guess he's been watching some Chicago hockey radio. So, but yeah, like that Riley Smith goal with I don't know what the hell Stuart Skinner was doing, man. He was like light years out of his crease, and then Leon Draisaitl tried to block, and unfortunately went in off his stick there, but he kind of was forced to try to make that play, and it backfired. But with literally, that was a buzzer beater goal from Riley Smith. So credit to him. Back in Vegas, there, it's been a good fit, and probably the biggest goal he scored in his career. So yeah, what a crazy ending.
I'm not blaming Skinner for that one. I mean, the puck goes against up against the boards. It bounces out like to the slot basically. He knows there's only like a couple seconds left. I don't hate him coming far out of his crease there, because I didn't think Smith was going to have enough time to make a move and get a shot on. He obviously did having enough time, but like, I don't think that's the one I'm really grilling Skinner for, to be honest with you.
Really? Wow. In my opinion, I think he hugs a post there, and you have no problem. Game over. I feel like it's the game's like pretty, like you said, dude. The game's over. Like, why are you going? Why are you risking that, man? Like, just stay in your crease and end the game. Like, he wouldn't have had it.
I think it was. I don't know. I think it was kind of lazy defensive work there from the Oilers.
We've never seen that before.
I think it was Carlson who was the one who carried it into the Edmonton zone there, who made the play. He was like, it was like the end of his shift. Like, it's not like he had a ton of legs. Like,
he went through like their whole team. Yeah.
I feel like they shouldn't have allowed him to go through their whole team at the end of his shift. At the end of the game, it's like, I know time's winding down, but you got to play hard till you hear the buzzer.
Got to play to the buzzer. Yeah, exactly.
And so that's kind of what the one that I did think was on Skinner. I want to say it was the first goal. Yeah, the Nick Roy goal. Weird play, like puck goes around the net. He makes the save on the first one, and then he just didn't get set up at all. He looked like he was like falling over when the shot came in. That one was really bad. I thought that one was on him. The first Riley Smith goal was shocking defensive work from the Oilers. I mean, he just walked through them, and then I think that's kind of the difference here with Skinner and Pickard is in these games, like we've still seen the defensive lapses from the Oilers, but Pickard's been able to make the save, Justin.
He's been able to bail him out a few times,
and Skinner hasn't.
That's like, I thought Pickard, like, there have really been a ton of goals from Kevin Pickard where it's like, oh, that was a soft goal.
Yeah.
Like, I know his numbers aren't great outside the record, but it's like they've been good enough. And like, that's the thing with this Oilers team. You don't have to put up crazy numbers on this Oilers team. You just have to be competent. You just have to be there. But with Skinner, it's like every game you could point to at least 1 or 2 goals where it's like any other goalie would have made that stop or should have made that stop. Like, I know there's been a lot of discussions around, guys like Hellebuck, but it's like Skinner, like, I have zero trust in that guy whatsoever. I think that Oilers team probably does too. They do seem to play a little differently as well. I mean, just the fact that they're 0-3 and there's, with Skinner and 6-0 with Pickard, like, I don't think that's just a coincidence there. I don't think that's just luck. So, and they're going to deal with it even more. I think he's going to be in tonight too. So, yeah, you got to find a W with Skinner at some point here. I mean, they've done it before. Like last year, they were able to ride him. So I'm not really sure what changed this year, Stuart Skinner. But it feels like every year he seems to get weaker and weaker for some reason, which not great for a goaltender. Yeah.
I mean, dude, it just feels like it's all mental. It's like and
Yeah.
of course, like the
That's
way
like half the battle of goaltending.
and Justin, especially with like, think about how hard that would be. Like, you have 2 brutal games to start the playoffs in LA.
Yeah.
Like, you get absolutely destroyed for what was it, 6 goals in
Canned.
both games. Like, and then you get yanked, and then the guy who comes in after you wins what, 4 straight? 6 straight, like
6 straight. That would do anything to your psyche, and then you come back in, unexpectedly when he gets hurt and lose again. Which this one he wasn't as bad in this game. It wasn't all him, like you said. Like it was as much the Oilers' defensive woes. It's eventually gonna come back to bite them, right? Like you can only go so far playing that way, and a team like Vegas should be good enough to make you pay. And we're finally starting to see it here. I do wonder if maybe this could be that Game 3 moment. We saw it Oilers Kings, right, where the Kings obviously had a 2-0 lead, and then there was that awful challenge by Hiller, and the series completely flipped on its head. This is a different scenario, obviously, but it's like, man, the Oilers, you talked about it, man. They had a 2-0 lead in this game. Corey Perry, multi-goal game. Where the hell does this come from, man? He looks like his 2011 Hart self. I mean, yeah, he's probably he's a Mick Dry merchant, but it's like you have to be able to play with those guys. And, fair enough. I think he has like 5 goals or something. So, but yeah, like bottom line, the Oilers had an opportunity here to really, take the series on its head and win at home and take a 3-0 lead and kind of let it get away from them. And it's like, it might just be one game, or it could be the start of something. This Vegas team is not LA. Like, this is a good team, man. It's like if you give them a sniff. We saw it against Minnesota too. Like, Minnesota had the lead at various points in that series, but never really felt nervous if you were a Vegas fan, probably just because this team's been there, done that. They've been in these moments, and it's like, I would be a little nervous if I was an Edmonton fan, not going to lie right now. I think this Vegas team, they've done it before. In 2023, they did it against Edmonton. So I'm still going to pull for – I still think the Oilers are going to take the series, my bottom line, but I think it's going to be close. I think this is definitely still a 6-7 gamer. Vegas is going to give them every bit of fight for sure. Yeah.
I think Game 4 is really important for the Oilers.
Huge.
Look, you have the 2-goal lead. It got away from you. You had that shocking finish with 0.4 seconds left off Draisaitl's stick. You do not want to go back to Vegas all level, especially after the way you played in the first 2 games. I think this is an important one for Edmonton. And look, I think if Vegas is able to win this one, I think they'll win the series.
I was just gonna say, like, does this feel like a must-win for Edmonton? Is it crazy to say? Like, I know we throw that around so much.
We love to do that here, but.
The momentum is such a thing in the playoffs. Momentum is such a thing. Like, one play, one instance can change the entire trajectory of a series. I'll never forget 2023. I think it was Boston, Florida. Like, Boston had opportunity to take away the series. I think it was like 3-1 or something. And Omar made that mistake behind the net. I think it was T'Chaka or whoever buried the game. And then Florida came back. Like, things like that happen so much in the past. That's just one example. Like, it happens all the time. It doesn't matter what the series is at. One instance, one play can completely shift the tide of a series. And I just look at that instance that could be that type of play. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be overreacting, but we shall see.
I don't think we've been far. Like, I feel like all these games that we say are like must wins, if the team don't win them, they've lost the series. Like, I feel like we've been pretty spot on with these. And so, I don't think it's like a crazy thing to put, how much emphasis how important this game is for the Oilers to win.
It's also pretty important for Vegas too, to be fair. Not to cut you off there, but obviously you don't want to lose and go down. You can argue as much of a must win for them as it is for Edmonton.
We don't have to say that you don't want to go down 3-1 to this Edmonton team.
It's obvious.
That's not even a point that we have to make. I think everyone else can figure that one out. I also just think that, like, going forward, before we move on from this, like, for the Oilers, if you get a lead in a game, I don't care for the rest of the playoffs. Look, the goaltending and the defense is not good enough for you to sit back and admire your work and then try to play defensive hockey. You have to attack for 60 minutes every single night if you want to win the Stanley Cup this year.
Yeah, don't be the Kings, man. The team you just beat. Like, why did they do that, man? Why did they set themselves up for that trap there? Vegas is going to make you pay. So for the Oilers, just the way they play, the style of play, it's like they can't afford to play like that. And that's what came back to bite them. You got to be aggressive. You can't be passive, right? Oilers' lead is never really safe. Let's be real. Like, and the same thing could be said. They're down a couple goals, like they're still in the game, but they're just the way they play is so unreliable. It's like. You got to keep your foot on the gas. Yeah,
I agree. Okay, moving on to the Sunday slate. The first one being the Stars versus the Jets. The Stars bounce back in a big way, having an emphatic 5-2 win at home. Big win from the Stars, big third period from the Stars. The Mikko Rantanen show continues. How did you feel about that one?
Unreal, man. You referenced the Mikko Rantanen show. 17 points in his last 6 games.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's nearly 3 points a game.
And that's also like the last game they got shut out. So it's only really been 5 games.
So really it's 17 points in 5 games. That's over 3 points a game. If my math is correct.
Yes.
He's literally putting on be a pro sometimes. I'll sim all the regular season games, right? I don't really care about that. Just get to the playoffs. So my team will be down 3-0 in a series and force me to play all the games. So my be a pro puts up 20 points, 5 points a game. That's what Mikko Rantanen is doing right now, man. It literally doesn't even look real. It's like it's in a video game right now. I think it's 18-10 now. Even after that slow start when you have 1 assist in 4 games, and I said something about that I won't repeat about 2 weeks ago. He took it personally, and he's been an absolute tear right now. So right now, he's definitely the Conn Smythe leader. I think that's definitely fair to say. Long way to go, I know, but no, I think overall for the Stars, right, bounce back win. And we've seen it. How many times have we seen it from this Dallas team where it's they've had some bad games in these playoffs. Let's be real, they've had some stinkers, but it's every single time they bounce back. Every single time.
Yep.
I don't think they've ever had back-to-back bad games in the playoffs, which I don't think you can really afford to have that, right? The best teams are able to bounce back and face adversity, and this Dallas team has done it every single time. To come back home and win. And no, it's 5-2. It wasn't really a dominant game. Like you said, it was pretty close, actually. The scoreboard doesn't tell the whole story there. And there was some controversy in this one, too. We could get to here if that kicked in goal, maybe, potentially. I don't know if it really was, but yeah, it was a close game, but I think for Dallas to come away from the fashion they did, I feel pretty good about them the rest of the series.
Yeah, we can get into that third period a bit. I do want to say that, I thought Connor Hellebuck was looking good for the first 2 periods of this hockey game. Obviously, he lets in a goal on the first shot of the game, which you don't want that to ever happen, obviously. But
it's not ideal.
It was a really nice tip-in goal. I don't think that one was super savable, to be honest with you. But I thought he played solid through 2. And then, we can talk about this Petrovic goal. I mean, I didn't think it was a kick. He opens up his skate a little bit, and then he tries to play it with his stick, and then it goes off Hellebuck and goes into the net.
That's the difference. If it just went in right off of his skate, that would be different, right? I think I'd call that a kick, but the fact that it went off of Hellebuck first, I think that's fair. And we've seen goals like that how many times, right? I feel like it's so subjective, whether it's meant to be a kick or not, directing it in. We've seen some calls go the way that probably shouldn't be, but so I don't really think too much of that. But I do find it funny, though. That does seem to be a theme with the Stars' controversial goals in the playoffs. I've seen it before with that team, circa 1999. Brett Hull, was he in the crease or not against this Buffalo? But not the same instance. But I can't help history merchant. I can't help but think about things like that. But,
over here.
But no, I think it was fair, especially when you win 5-2. It wasn't like it was a one goal game, so it was a little different there.
It just pissed me off how long they took to look at it, and these announcers are trying to figure it out. They're like, oh, he did kind of kick it. The thing that it's a distinct kicking motion.
Yeah, Justin, it wasn't a soccer kick.
And Justin, as a guy who played soccer his whole life, for all you that don't know, I come from a soccer background. I didn't play hockey. That explains the L takes here on the show. But I know, me of all people, I know what a distinct kicking motion looks like. I really do. And what I saw from Petrovic was not a distinct kicking motion. He opens up his skate a little bit. It deflects off. He tries to make the play. It goes off Hellebuck. It finds its way to the back of the net. That's not a distinct kicking motion.
No.
It was also a bad goal from Connor Hellebuck. I mean, you got to make that play. Yeah. I mean, that was. I feel like as soft as they come. I know puck was bouncing a little bit. It happened quick. You got to make that save though, right?
Yeah, well, we haven't seen anything like that of Hellebuck in these playoffs, right? A soft goal, he probably should have had back. But I just want to know what the deal is of him, home versus away. Because at home, he's actually looked pretty good, competent. Maybe not Vezina Hart winning, but he did Friday game. But for whatever reason, on the road, his numbers are just absolutely atrocious, dude. Another 5-goal game. Yeah, maybe they weren't all his fault, but still, I don't know what the deal is there. I mean, probably it's a mental thing, as it is with a lot of times with these goaltenders, but it's just so odd, man. It continues to baffle me.
It is strange, and he has been worse on the road. He's looked worse on the road, but this Jets team has been dreadful on the road.
The team as well, not just him. They haven't won. Yeah.
They play us out. You get that goal from Connor. They score again. It's 2-2. Like, they're playing a solid game. I'm thinking this might come down to the wire. This could be one that the Jets steal in overtime. And then it's just like they kind of just start getting walked. They just start getting dominated for like a few minutes in the third, and that ends up being the game. And then I guess we can talk about this Rantanen insurance goal, because I mean, that was such a sweet goal, Justin.
Just an absolute rip, absolute nasty. I mean, nasty stuff. But Darby was somewhere smiling when he saw that shot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was absolutely unreal. And yeah, I don't know what it is like with this Winnipeg team. It's like that. I don't know. Maybe it is the whiteout. You referenced it earlier. Maybe they're whiteout merchants. Like their playoff atmosphere
they see
at
the
home
green
is just
or
that
blue,
good.
and it's like, oh.
It's like they're a college team where it's like they seem to rely on the crowd. Like when the crowd's not on their side, it's like they seem like they go through these lapses in these games, and that's kind of different. So it's very strange to me. I haven't really seen a team like that, but I'm not really gonna trust a team like that to win the cup. The same deal with the Caps. It feels like they might be regular season merchants here, which I think we were both right about. I know they're 2-1 series. It could easily go back the other way, but I think in both series I feel pretty confident.
Justin, it could have been fine for the Winnipeg Jets if they won game one at home. But they lost one at home, and so now you can't do what you did against the Blues. You can't just win at home. You gotta
get one on the road. Yeah.
I don't see it happening, to be honest with you, because they haven't
shown it.
They haven't shown us it.
They haven't been close.
Yeah, no. And that Rantanen goal, just the patience too. Like he carried that thing for like a couple seconds longer than they thought. I don't know what. That's another kind of question mark from Hellebuck. I don't know if he would have been able to make the save. I don't know what the fuck he was doing with his stick. What is he doing with his stick? Mikko Rantanen was like 25 feet away from him, and he's sticking out his stick like he's going for a poke check.
On God.
I don't know. On God.
Like he was playing fencing or something. Like, what was he doing?
I
like
don't
using
know
like as a lightsaber, trying to use the force. Like, it just seems like he gets out of his element, man. Like it's odd. There's a few instances you can look at where it's like, this defense lapses, but it's like, dude, you gotta make the stop as well. So it's kind of how they played the regular season. When that shuts down, then they have a hard time. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Same with the Washington too. Like they have top end players. Like they have the KFCs, and I saw, by the way, there's a KFC that opened a Kyle Connor themed KFC that opened in Winnipeg. I thought that was pretty cool. But they have these Connors, they have these Scheifele's and the Morseys. Like they have good top end players. But like same deal with the Caps and the Canes. Like, I think Dallas is better. So like that isn't going to be able to push them over the top. I don't think. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. And also
I see a lot of parallels.
And also just like this team, and we've talked about it so many times on the show, it's like they lean on the goaltending and they lean on that first line, but they lean on the power play, and the power play hasn't been good enough. They went 0-for-4 yesterday. This team is not going to win with the power play going 0-for-4. They just can't do it.
No.
They're not loaded enough offensively to be able to keep up with a team like the Dallas Stars for 60 minutes. If you're not scoring on the power play, where are these goals coming from for the Jets? Because it's not coming from the bottom six. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no, I don't think the special team is going to be enough to get them this series. They got to get something going, even strength, and it's a tall task against this Dallas team for sure. Yeah, it just stacks up too good. It's too good a team, man. Yeah,
I think Game 4 will be very telling. I think that's talk about a must win. I think that's the series. I think if the Jets lose that, I think Dallas is going to have no problem winning one more. So yeah, I'd say must win there for the Jets on the road. Can they win on the road for the first time this postseason? We'll have to see.
Tis the question, but I have my doubts in that regard. I mean, I Dallas at 5. I think that's what most people predicted, and I think you predicted it. So I could totally see it going that way for sure. It appears so, but we'll love to be wrong. I'd like to see some long series here, right? Yeah, more streams.
Yes. Okay. I want to spend a decent amount of time on this Panthers Leafs game 4, but we have been going for an hour. Let's hit a break here, come back, talk about this one. We still got Mount Rushmore, and then we've got to tee up the other games on the other side. So let's do that. We will be back here in just a second. Welcome back, Chicago Hockey Radio. Lee Grossman, Justin Lynch. I wanted to take, I didn't want to rush this one because it was the one we streamed last night. It was a really, really good hockey game. If you were rooting for the Florida Panthers, I guess I should say, I should preface it with that, which I was, so I was happy. The Panthers are back, Justin. This is the Florida team that I bet on. This is the Florida team that I predicted to win the Stanley Cup. They are opportunistic. They defend well. They are aggressive on the forecheck. They don't give up a lot of opportunities. They're back.
Raw Florida, baby. Let's go. You'll love to see it. They tie the series, like you said, back-to-back wins at Sunrise. And it's funny now. Now that the series is tied, it's like it should be even, right? Everybody should be 50-50. But nope, I think it's 75-25 in favor of favoring Florida right now by most of the NHL media at the moment, which I think is fair. I mean, this team is, they're defending champs for a reason, back-to-back finals. And, we know the Leafs, will come playoff time. Eventually it's going to start to fizzle out here. But gotta give them credit. It was a nice little run there, for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And they put up a fight in this series. I gotta give them credit. It's been a better series than 2023 where they got, absolutely cooked in 5 games. Like, they play good. They play good hockey in the series. I'd say they've won a game more than I expected. I think I had this being in 5, so credit to them. I mean, I think for much of the series, they played well. But I'd say this was the first game of the series where I would say that was not the case. Like the Cats, they dominated the Leafs in this game. I know the score shows 2-0, but it's like if you watch that game, Florida was in complete control. They dominated the chances, dominated the shots, dominated possession. And yeah, like you said, Lee, they've got their confidence back. They got their swagger back. It took some time for them to kind of get into this series and to wake up. But now that they have, I don't think they're going to look back. We've seen this from this team before. They can have a few stickers. They can go down a series. It doesn't matter. Like they get better as the series goes on. They wear on the ops. And I think we're seeing that right now. And honestly, like you might disagree. I think you think it's going to go 7. I think Florida's going to ride this all the way. I think it's going to be a sweep within a series. I think they're going to take it at 6.
I hope you're right. I do think that the worst thing, honestly, for the Maple Leafs after that one is because, look, like everybody sounding the alarm bells, it is an overreaction, in my opinion. Just like I thought it was an overreaction after Game 2, after everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's the Leafs year. Like, what's happening? I thought that was an overreaction. I think this is an overreaction. I think we're in for a series here. I hope you're right, though. I hope Florida wins the next 2 and wins 4 straight and gets this done in 6, so I don't have to sweat out a Game 7. But I don't think it's going to be a case. I will say, though, for Toronto, I feel like you wasted a Joe Wall performance. I feel like that performance from Joe Wall last night was tremendous. I thought he was fantastic. I mean, he made 35 saves.
He was like Stolarz in that, so that's not the difference. You can't blame the goaltending. He was every bit as good, if not better. So
he was better. He was better. That was the best goaltending performance I think we've seen in this series.
He kept him in
so
that
far.
game. Like it was a 1-0 game for so long, and I think we streamed that game. You streamed that game.
Yeah.
I kept saying in the chat, you kept saying it too. Like it felt like that one goal wasn't going to be enough for Florida. They had to get some insurance. They're not going to win 1-0, and they didn't win 1-0. But yeah, the Leafs, like I felt like it was inevitable they're going to strike at some point. We were just waiting for it from that core 4 all game. We were waiting for it. We thought something was brewing, and it never came. It never finished. So. That's a problem. Like, I'm sorry, that's a problem. I know people complain about when we bring up these narratives all the time, but it's like, dude, like that's a moment in a game, in a series, in a playoffs where it's like you gotta get something from your top guns. Like that's the difference right there. That's the difference in this game, and that's probably gonna be the difference in this series. Like, where were they last night? Like Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner were cosplaying as Casper the Ghost in King Boo last night. I did not see them on the ice, and this is an absolutely unreal stat. Auston Matthews, guess how many goals he has? Career playoff goals after round 1 in the playoffs.
I don't know, but I'm sure you're going to tell me. Not a lot, I'd imagine. If otherwise,
9 games played, he has 0 goals. Auston Matthews has 0 goals in the round 2, and both the times have been against Florida, right? 2023 and now this year. It's just not good enough, man. It's like, I don't know what it is. When the lights are bright, he just doesn't show up. And Leafs fans will say, oh, he's playing injured, yada, yada. It's the playoffs, dude. You play through injuries. We've seen it with Matthew Tkachuk, man. He's playing injured right now.
Right now, Matthew Tkachuk's playing injured.
Yeah, maybe he hasn't been his best self, but he's been better than Matthews. He's shown up when he's had to. He's still, producing. So, yeah, that's what leaders. That's what the best players do. So he's got to figure that out. But not just him. Right? The entire core four was pretty solid. Not just I keep saying the core four, the team itself. But Nyes had some looks. He was probably the most I'd say noticeable. But Nylander had some opportunities. But you got to get something from that bunch in a game like that when your goaltender's standing on his head, and you're not going to get the type of that production from your depth guys. Like that's the situation where you got to step up if you're a star player.
Yeah, Nice had that breakaway that Bob made the save on.
He was so good.
Matthews also had a pretty good look that just was a sweet glove save from Bob. Yeah, I mean, not enough offensively from the Leafs, and this was another game where the officials, the refereeing, just like not good. Don't know what they have. No clue. They don't know how to officiate these games. The Florida Panthers it's too much for these guys. They have no clue how to call these games. A lot of uncharacteristic penalties from the Leafs. I talked about how I said Lee's keys to this series are going to be the Leafs not engaging in this, back and forth physical shit after the whistle, being responsible, not taking bad penalties. Justin, they took 6 penalties. They took 6 penalties yesterday, and it's going to be hard. Like, I know Florida's power play wasn't great. I was shitting on it all stream.
1 for 6, but that was still enough, though. It's a 2-0 game, and one of those goals came from the power play, so that in alone was still enough. So it's like if the Leafs had just played more disciplined, maybe they could have found a way to come away with this one. But I think what you just said there is spot on. Like I think for the Panthers, they've been wanting this. They've been wanting the Leafs to kind of to suck them into their game plan, to suck them into that system. The Leafs have been trying to play the Panthers game against the Florida, to try to use their own spells against them, and that's just not going to work, man. I think we're seeing that here. That's been the difference. They kind of gotten away from their game. What's made them good? We saw that in this game last night. Like that was not this Toronto Maple Leafs team we've seen that's played the best they probably ever had this time of year. So I think if they want to get back in this series and find a way to take it, they got to get away from it. They got to get back to what worked games 1 and 2. Yeah.
Even if the Panthers aren't clicking on the power play, if you're going to give them 6 opportunities, you're spending. Well, no, it's not even that, Justin. It's just you're spending like a third of the game on the penalty kill. You're not going to score. You're not going to score if you're in the box that much. And so you've got to be way more disciplined if you're the Leafs. There were a few bad ones. I mean, the OEL one, there was a bad stick penalty from Nyes. The OEL delay of game was bad. The OEL, and we can get into. We'll start talking about the physicality. The interference call on OEL. I mean, he tried to.
And that was only 2 minutes somehow.
It was only 2 minutes. He tried to fucking. He took a run at Evan Rodriguez there in the neutral zone.
He was down for a while, too.
And the puck was nowhere near him. OEL didn't leave his feet. He didn't really make head contact.
I've seen worse. Like, I wouldn't say it was a suspension, but
no.
But it probably should have been a major. But I guess in a game where they already had like 5 power plays, I guess maybe the refs looked at that late in the game and were like, we'll make it 2.
Which is bad, Justin. It shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, we've already given the Cats 4
They
power
do
play
that so much, man, where
opportunities.
it's like they make calls based on what's happened in the game. It's like, no, like you just got to make the call whether it's the call or not. Like, you got to take the situations as individual moments, right? Not as these greater. We've talked about this a lot for the Friday show.
You're not reffing the whole game. You're not reffing. You're not like you're not picking apart a whole game and being like, all right, we should keep this even here. You got to call the penalties when they're there. So I agree with you. I think it probably should have been a 5-minute major. No suspension though. It's just I'm so done with these and now you guys see it. Now none of you can criticize me because I've been so critical of these NHL fan bases this entire postseason, crying, demanding suspensions for physical play. Shut up. All right, because I said no suspension for OEL, and I said no suspension for Domi. I saw so many people on Twitter last night demanding a suspension for Max Domi, which it was
bad. It was a bad play, but like I think you know what? Like based on a lot of the dialogue I've seen this weekend, I feel like a lot of these hockey Twitter people like have just started watching playoff hockey this year. Like this has always been a thing. Dude, it's the playoffs.
It's why we love
What
it,
are we
Justin.
talking about? That's what makes the playoffs different from the regular season. That's what makes NHL playoff hockey better than MLB, better than the NBA, better than NFL, better than any other sport. It's the physicality this time of year. The refs tend to keep the whistles away more often. Hasn't been the case this year. I'd say there's been a lot of calls that probably shouldn't be. It feels like they're trying to ref this like it's regular season, which I think is a mistake, but that's besides the point. a lot of people, I swear, it's like this is like a foreign concept to them. It's
Dude,
like, and honestly, it used to be a
infuriating.
lot worse than this. Like this is like tame compared to how it used to be. So yeah, like I don't want to hear all this nonsense of the suspensions and stuff. And like, you know, you could give him a slap on the wrist, whatever. Like Domi losing $5,000. Like, okay, I think he's well up enough.
Yeah,
like, he really learned his lesson on that one.
Lee Grossman fined by Tassos Kirkos for 30 cents for a sleep. You know, it's like, okay,
that's
5K
basically the comparable there,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So it's like, yeah, will that teach him? I don't think so. I think it's just a slap on the wrist for reasons that I don't think they want them to play differently, and they shouldn't. Like like that situation, like was it ideal? No, but it's like you're going to see that in these types of playoff games, frustrations boil over. We've seen it with this Florida team too. So it's like I think if you can give it, you should be able to take it. Honestly, I think that goes both ways. To be honest with you,
I agree, yeah. Justin. I think you made several really good points there. One that I want to talk more about is like this is what we love about the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like this, like as series goes, as the playoffs go on and these series go on, it's like these moments start to build on each other. It's like, okay, we have the Bennett on Stolars, then now we've got Domi on Barkov, we have OEL on. It's like these things build off each other, and it turns these last couple games of the series into must-watch television. It's why we love the sport. It's why we love the playoffs. Quit fucking whining about suspensions. Just let them. You saw Matthew Tkachuk on the bench because the Domi hit came basically as the time expired. Like it was obviously a cheap shot.
Yeah,
we lost this game to we're going back home. Let me just take a run at the best player on this team. That's what it was. Call a spade a spade. It was a cheap shot. Boarded him head straight.
There's a bad play on that Domi. Yeah.
He turns around. He delivers the hit and turns around immediately, bracing for contact because he knows what's coming. And he got it. I think it was like Lusterainen and maybe Ekblad or someone else there to give it to him right away. But I mean, we see Matthew Tkachuk on the bench pointing his stick at William Nylander, signaling that he's coming for him, saying he's coming for him. Like,
I love that,
guys. This is why we like. I'm getting giddy thinking about Game 5 right now. Like.
You're getting Josh Giddey.
I'm getting Josh Giddey. Okay, maybe.
I'm not watching the next one.
Yeah.
No.
I'm getting excited for Game 5 right now because of this physical play. Like, stop complaining about it. Game 5 is going to be fireworks. I can't wait to see how it plays out because, look, now this physicality, it's setting the stage for these next couple games, but also, I mean, we keep harping on the point, like both these teams do need to be responsible. Like they can't just be careless. You can't go out there and disciplined. Try to kill somebody. But I would not be shocked if we see Matthew Tkachuk take a run at a star player on the Leafs because
here's what I can't believe, man. Sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
Here's what these fans want. It's like, okay, you're seeing the chippiness in this series. You're seeing the series ramp up, right? The physicality and the drama. And it's like then you want to suspend these guys and take that player out of the action. It's like so you don't want to let these players self-police out there. It's like then you take away the juice. Like you just said, like it makes no sense, Mick. It's entertaining. You're being entertained. Why do you want that to stop? Like, why do you want to stop that? Stop being babies. I saw some people saying, "Oh, the Florida Panthers have ruined playoff hockey." It's like because of their physicality, the way they play. It's like they force other teams to play like that. It's like
this is the most exciting.
It's always like that. It's always been like this. Isn't new. The Panthers aren't the first team to play like this. Like I think these are a lot of casual fans who just started watching hockey. Honestly, it's baffling to me.
And Justin, not only has it existed, but it's like it's. Because of the way they play, because of this stuff after the whistle, because of the physicality. Obviously, I know it's the Leafs, and so it's like the biggest market in the league, but it's like it's making this series the must-watch series. Like, this is the most captivating series of the second round, and it's not even close in my mind. I don't even want to hear about Edmonton and Vegas compared to this one. Like
that's number two, for sure.
And it's just it's like because of this stuff. It's like it's not just how high level these teams are. It's not just because of how good the hockey is. It's because you have all this extra shit, and it's like, gosh, if we get to a point where it's like we're suspending all these guys for it, you're gonna completely lose that aspect of the playoffs, and that sounds like a nightmarish scenario to me.
And it seems to be following the Panthers around like must-watch hockey there. So yeah, there you go.
They really are. And I just like in regards to the Domi, like look, I think that OEL hit, if anything, should be the
suspension. That was like just as bad, if not.
That was
worse. That made it worse, actually.
The puck never came to Rodriguez. He just took a run at him in the neutral zone. He was looking the other way. It was a blindside hit. That was a crazy hit. The other one was in the corner at the end of the play. Yeah, it was a cheap shot. It was bad that Barkov hit his head on the boards. I think he's fine. He popped up right away. He got into the scrum.
He's good.
It's Sasha Barkov.
I did feel like he was all into that too. Like if he really wanted to, I don't think he was trying to put his head in the boards there. I think he definitely was a cheap shot, but I don't think he was trying to injure him.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Domi was perfectly okay with however.
Trying to rattle his cage.
I think he was okay with whichever way Sasha Barkov went into the boards there.
Guys, he's Max Domi. Who's his father again? Ty Domi, who's only one of the most like I think he's up there in terms of penalty minutes, one of the most physical players of all time. Like, why are y'all acting surprised? Like that's why he's there, dude. It's like the same deal with Sam Bennett. Like.
It's like these the prodigal son of, it's the prodigal son of the rat goat. And we're like, what is going on here? Dude, this series is so entertaining. I mean, you've got absolute, I don't want to say a curse word, even though I've said 80 of them on the show. You've got pieces of you-know-what on both teams. I mean, both teams are great defensively. Both teams have offensive firepower. I mean, dude, this is a perfect series for me. I've been loving every minute of it, and I'm so excited for Game 5.
What more could you want? And yeah, like obviously I want Florida in 6, but you know what? If it went to 7, oh no, we get to watch another game of this series. And yeah, I think for the Leafs, it's like, I think they're kind of screwed either way because, look, basically, you got to win in 6, and I don't think they're going to win back-to-back because we know what happened to the game 7 with the Leafs. So that's why I feel pretty confident about Florida. But, yeah, we'll have plenty more time to dig into this.
We will. And we will be streaming that Game 5 on Wednesday. The schedule's out on Instagram, but those of you that have not seen, we're going to be streaming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. So
shit, what's the deal with that, by the way? Shouldn't that Game 5 be on Tuesday? What's up the 2-day break?
Because you're head back to Toronto.
Yeah. I guess that does happen as the series develops, but well, that just tells you right there. Like we're enjoying this series so much. I hate to go 2 days without it, but it'll just make that Game 5 that much better. I think there's a lot of spice into that game.
Yeah, give these guys a couple days off. Get the legs rested a little bit. Yeah. Game 5 is going to be fireworks, and I cannot wait for that one. So be there for the stream on Wednesday for that. Okay, let's we've got to hit it over to this Mount Rushmore because it's a long one. And yes, in case you were wondering, I am back on top. I get another win. This was a fun one. So without further ado, this is Chicago Hockey Radio's Mount Rushmore of worst hockey jerseys.
All right, everybody, and we are back with the Mount Rushmore of worst hockey jerseys of all time this time around. So we did best jerseys of all time, and now we're doing the worst jerseys of all time. So will any of the same jerseys appear on the list? I don't think so, but maybe. Who has the first pick in this one? It is.
I believe it's Mr. Lee Grosman here.
Damn it! I kind of don't want first pick here.
This is a tough one. Yeah, it's probably so subjective.
Yeah, and it's also like we're going like specifics, right? Like
yeah, you got to give me like some of these are certain years that they were worn, and got to give me the exact jersey.
Okay. Well, this first one is quite shocking. It's a jarring looking jersey, and I don't remember it honestly because it was like 2001 to 2007 Nashville Predators alternate jersey. It was fucking like brown mustard color with this horrible logo. I just like did a jump scare and started laughing before we just pressed play just now. I'm going that one.
You're taking Mustard Cat? What they called it.
The mustard. If that's what they called it, yeah, it's the jerseys, the alternate from 2001, 2007.
Okay, my pick is an interesting one. This could really backfire me because there are some people who unironically think this is actually a great jersey. But I think just the logo is just absolutely ridiculous. Give me the Fisherman Islanders jersey.
Okay.
That could backfire because some people actually like the jersey, but I just think it looks ridiculous.
I mean, with the ones that are left on the board, I feel like we have to take the Dallas Stars 2003, the Mooterist jersey.
That's like the bowl with like the
It looks anatomical.
Yeah. Okay. Man, there's some bad ones out here. We're just because an Islanders or a Stars jersey was picked does not mean a different Islanders or
That's
Stars
correct.
jersey
You can
be
still pick
picked,
one
too.
that is
A different, yeah.
Oh, we are saying that? Okay.
Yeah. Because some teams have put out multiple stinkers here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at an Islanders one that is shocking.
I just found one from the Blues.
Give me the 2008 to the 2011 Sens, the one that just says the black and red one that says Sens across the front.
Huh.
Give me that one. And give me, and some of these I disagree with. Okay. So give me the Sens jersey, and that one's not bad enough. Give me the 95-96 LA Kings Burger King jersey.
Oh, I was thinking of that one.
The Burger King jersey. Oh, no.
May I please have some water?
We will be doing the Boston Bruins Pooh Bear 1995 jersey.
See, I like that jersey.
Pooh Bear. Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. I like the logo. I like the bear.
It looks cool, but the bear's just not menacing in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I like it. It's like a wholesome bear. Yeah.
It's not striking fear in the enemies on
It's
the
a
ice.
bear you
there,
cuddle
Justin.
with. Yeah.
I
It's a
like
bear
the
that
Pooh
gives you a
Bear.
Coca-Cola. Yeah, or honey. Yeah. Give me, I don't know what year this is from, but it's this St. Louis Blues jersey, a bunch of trumpets and musical notes on it. It just looks absolutely diabolical. Like that's an actual jersey that exists. Like
That is
So
jarring.
I don't think that jersey was worn in a game, actually.
oh, was
So-
it not? Was it just designed, so it does not
Yes.
count then?
That does not
Damn
count
it!
because it was not actually worn.
Ah! All right. Well, then give me. Well, this one. I'm still looking at a picture of this. It looks like it was worn. This Mighty Ducks jersey.
Yeah, where
the
he's
goalie
jumping out.
is
Yeah.
jumping out.
Yeah.
That is absolutely atrocious. Yeah, give me that. I mean, it's a shame because the actual Mighty Ducks jersey is brilliant, but this alternate is just disgusting.
Oh my god. Is it my
Hard to
turn?
argue with that one. Yeah, you have two picks.
Okay, this first one I'm going with is because some of these are like so bad that they're like funny. This one is just like ugly no matter how you spin it. It was like the early 2010s Islanders. I don't know if this is an it's an alternate. It's like black. It just says Islanders and
I
orange.
hate you. It was the
and then the sleeves are like blue. And
2011
the
to 2014.
yeah,
I know exactly what you're thinking of.
atrocious.
Yeah. Look disgusting. Yeah.
And then this is the first picture that comes up when I fucking looked up worst NHL jerseys ever. But it's this it was this throwback Canadiens jersey, Where's Waldo looking like atrocious.
Oh, the blue and red, the barber pole one?
Yes,
Yeah.
that one. The barber pole. Yeah, perfect analogy there. What the hell is that?
All right. Well, this one,
I think
this
that's
is
what they
another
called
one that, this is another one that could backfire me because like some people actually like this jersey. It's from the Vancouver Canucks from the '80s, the old V jersey. I'll pick that one. I think it just looks super ugly, but some people actually do like it for some reason.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's
just.
fitting of the era.
I guess. I don't know. If you wore that today, no.
It would be a very bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Raven Tim.
We are going to take the Anaheim Ducks alternate from 2015 to 17, like the orange.
The orange alternate.
The orange alternate with black pants specifically. I hate it.
Okay, see, now we can make this one a discussion because they kind of are wearing the same thing now,
But with orange
with orange pants. And my argument for it is that they should go back to black pants, in that you can't wear the all orange.
It's jumpsuit-esque.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get what they're going for. I just think it looks goofy, and you need to wear black pants with it. But yeah, it's a good pick. All right. I'm going to take the 2013-14 Buffalo Sabres thirds. It's like a primarily yellow jersey with like blue on the shoulders and like the Sabres logo. And I remember when they wore those jerseys, and they were tanking at the time, as the Sabres always are. And yeah, those jerseys were just as bad as their play on the ice those years. So I'm taking that one. And with my final pick, see, do I want to say something I don't believe? Am I that kind of person? I don't think I am.
Pander, you want to.
Well, if I'm going to pander, then give me the Oilers jersey that's like the what do you call it? Like the Meteor jersey?
Oh, with like with spill or whatever?
Yeah.
Like the Oilers spill?
Yeah, if that's what it is. Is that what it is?
I know what you're talking about. I think that's what you're referring to. I could be wrong. It might be
It's like
something
a
else.
drop. It's like an oil
Yeah,
drop.
drop.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, it's an odd one. Yeah.
It's like a dark blue jersey.
Yeah.
It's okay. I actually don't mind it a lot, but I know that that's like one that people are like, oh, that's a terrible jersey. So.
All right. Mr. AI up next.
For our last pick, we are taking the Tampa Bay Lightning alternatives from 1996 to
Damn
99.
it! Fuck!
Yeah, that's how we felt after that first pick.
Damn it! Oh man, I gotta go back to the lab now.
I don't hate that jersey either.
I think it's atrocious.
I don't hate it.
It's got 8 different colors on it.
I don't hate it,
But it's like Tampa Bay hockey in the 90s, dude.
That's
they
exactly the thing.
When they started in Tampa, the franchise, they were playing on the baseball field.
Yeah.
Like they were playing at Tropicana, where the Raves had to move out of this year because it got demolished by a
Destroyed.
hurricane. Like, I don't know. The early history of Tampa hockey is like unique. And so I don't know.
And I
like
do
it.
like the logo a lot on it, but it's just the surrounding jersey. Like the sleeves are super cool, but it's got a lot going on. I think it could be simplified a little bit.
Heard.
All right. Well, I'm glad this is still on the board. Give me the 2000s alternate jerseys that the Dallas Stars used to wear at home. This like bowl jersey in the middle. I think that's what it's supposed to be. The logo.
We took that as our first pick.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yes.
shit. I totally missed that.
You're all good.
Oh, no. You did the same thing to me in another episode, so you reversed the trend there. I like it. Well, if that's already off the board, then actually, how about the 2009? This is my second pick. 2009 Montreal Canadiens throwbacks. It has like a leaf on it. There's a bunch of stripes on the jersey.
Lee
like,
took it. That's the barber
The
pole
barber.
one.
Yeah.
See, we're
Oh,
all
that's the
learning
barber
these.
one.
We're learning these all under like different names too. So
Yeah.
it's a little
oh,
weird.
that's why. It's like a different name. Oh, shit. Those are the two options off the board. Well, shit. Now I have absolutely nothing as an alternate option. Let me just find something real quick here.
Oh, there's some bad ones out there.
There's some bad
Those
ones.
are the two I had in mind. I actually kind of like those. I'm not gonna pick that. I like the Seals jersey. I don't agree with that. Yeah, just give me a second here. I'll try not to take too long. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I was never a fan of this one. The Hurricanes jersey where it's like the this one, the black one with like I guess the logo there. It's not a hurricane. I don't really know what it's supposed to be.
It's
like
a hurricane
storm.
warning flag. It's like a warning flag for a hurricane.
Some people like. I don't like. I've never really been a big fan of that jersey. I think it looks kind of odd. I just like with the hurricane logo, but the warning there, it just I don't know. Like I guess it's okay.
It's a good pick.
But yeah, I mean, for a quick one off the cuff, yeah, there are probably worse ones I could find though. Yeah.
All right, leave with the last pick.
I'm just going through and trying to find the worst one. I'm gonna go with. It doesn't have to be NHL, right?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna go with. I guess you could choose any of them, but the NYPD jerseys when they play the fire department.
You're picking the police department?
Terrible,
Yes,
dude.
yes.
Terrible take.
What?
What do you mean terrible?
You don't
take?
respect the servicemen?
You think everybody's gonna be like, hey, I love those cops in their jerseys. New York's finest, yeah, give me the fucking NYPD jerseys from any time.
Just the NYPD catching strays for absolutely no reason.
We're out here disrespecting the servicemen out there. Unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, everyone boos them, everyone roots for the fire department. Give me the NYPD jerseys.
Okay, so there's a couple of honorable mentions, some that I agree with, some that I don't. This is like the older, but not like this is like the mid 2000s Blues jersey, like the 2007 to 2014. That one's kind of lame. You've got the Colorado Avalanche one that's like the blue that just says Colorado going down across.
The alternate from 2009 to 15.
There's a couple Islanders ones too, like that we didn't even get to that are brutal. There's like the
Islanders
orange
just have the
Islanders
worst
one
jerseys.
that like has like the blue thing.
They've had a ton of
triangles
bad
coming in.
jerseys.
Yeah,
it's been a theme.
It's actually impressive how consistently they crank out bad jerseys.
There's the Buffa Slug. There's the Buffa Slug one. That's like the buffalo that looks like a slug.
Oh God.
Yeah.
There's
That's a
the
weird one.
Canucks one that's like it's like the red that fades into the blue. That one's a brutal one. Trying to think. There was the Calgary one that had like Calgary across and like script on the front. That one was lame. I was never a fan of, we talk about how good the Mighty Ducks original one was, but like when they first went to the Ducks and they dropped the Mighty, like just like the Anaheim Ducks on the front where like the D is the logo, like I just thought that was a stupid one.
Yeah.
A lot of these lists have like the Thrashers on here, which I don't.
I like the
disagree with.
Thrashers.
I love the Thrashers.
I love the
I
Thrashers.
agree with that so much. I was gonna take them for my favorite logo.
Yeah.
I
Like
thought
a-
about it. Yeah.
A lot of these have some good ones on here. I'm like, this doesn't really make a ton of sense.
Yeah, I was thinking about also taking the Seattle Kraken at the end, just their regular jersey, just because I hate the Seattle Kraken. And I
Some
think
of these
their
lists had like the
jerseys are-
Blasty jersey from the Flames one. I love that jersey, man. I think that's one of the coolest ones in the sport. But yeah, that's all I got for honorable mentions.
We did it.
The Thrashers one that could have been on there is the Chris Chelios Thrashers one. That's like the red one that just has like the Thrashers and then
that's
the
a weird
numbers on
one.
the front, like a football jersey.
Yeah.
That's one that could have made the list. But all right, cool. All right, let's throw it back to the show right.
That was maybe the most fun one yet. I finally cooked like that. I think that was my most decisive win yet.
That was your legacy performance.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was crying laughing when Tassos goes, the NYPD catching crazy strays out here.
Just said they're catching crazy fires.
Dude, I
but
didn't know what to do for that last pick, and I was like, I'm gonna take the NYPD, any of their jerseys. Oh my gosh, that was a good one. And then also you got slandered. Somebody commented under the post, did Team 3 have the same prompt?
And yet I still didn't finish last. So there you
Oh
go.
my
Chat. Somebody in the stream said ChatGPT knows ball. ChatGPT finished last. So
They did.
yeah, I don't think they know ball, I fear. But I'll admit it was not my best performance. I will straight up admit that. I just straight up wasn't paying attention. I picked two jerseys that were already picked, and the Canes jersey for the last one was such a like I couldn't figure out anything, so I just threw that in there. It's actually not a bad jersey whatsoever.
The problem was
yeah.
your first one being the Islanders Fisher them.
People actually like that jersey.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I agree with you, and honestly, the first two I think are like obviously all of these are subjective, but I do like I agreed with you on your first two picks, but then I think a lot of people like those jerseys.
The
so
flying V too, like with the
yeah.
Canucks, a lot of people like that. Yeah,
It backfired, but
Yeah.
really funny one. And by the way, the updated scoring, I'll just give a quick scoreboard update on these Mount Rushmores. So I am still in last, but that was a big win for me. I needed that one. I'm in last with 27 points. In second to last is Raven and Tim with 31 points. And then Tassos has 34 points. And then Justin's still in first with 37 points. So it's getting really tight here. All four teams within 10 points of one another. And obviously you get 4 points for a win. So, like, I mean, this can be big swings. I need to finish strong here if I want to get out of last
it's
place.
anybody's game. Like, I used to have a pretty big lead, and like you said, now it's only 10 points out of last. So yeah, it's really anybody's game. And this Mount Rushmore is coming down to the wire. Absolute cinema. It's been a lot of fun. You could tell that was probably the one we had the most fun for, because it was like 14 minutes long. So you can tell we were enjoying ourselves with that one. I'm looking forward to the next one. Yeah.
And we were also so like locked in trying to find the worst jerseys that we would like not pay attention that somebody else would take said jersey.
Yeah, well, that was me. And then all the jerseys I thought of were gone. It's like I just had to like pick something. And at least it didn't hurt me too bad. It finished last.
That was a fun Mount Rushmore. We hope you guys enjoy those because we enjoy making them. Okay, let's tee up these games because we've still got to do that. The Monday and Tuesday game. So the first one tonight being the Capitals Hurricanes. We've already talked about it a little bit, but this is a must-win game for the Washington Capitals, right?
There's that phrase again, must win. But
is.
you're correct. Yeah, this is the dictionary definition of a must win. You gotta get a split. You gotta get a split on the road. You go back to Washington down 3-1. You might win Game 5. It's over. You're not gonna win 3 straight against this Canes team. They're just too good. They're not gonna choke a lead like that away. So yeah, for the Caps, you gotta lock in. You gotta find a way to lock in. You need some production for your big guns. You can't afford to get shut out again. You gotta get more chances going. You gotta draw more penalties. Power play's gotta get going. Gotta not suck at even strength, because this Canes team is absolutely stifling. They got nothing going. So you just gotta find a way. I mean, I wish I could go into like the specifics of like how you beat this Canes team, but it's tough, man. Just the way they play their system. Washington it's a brutal matchup, man. It's like if they keep playing the same way, I just don't think they really have anything for them. So it's like they got to find something different. Maybe a bounce here or there. Or sometimes that's all it takes, a lucky bounce or something, a situation breaking open. So you never know in the playoffs. Anything could happen. But yeah, just got to find a way to make it happen and come away F1 and tie up this series somehow. Otherwise, you're kind of screwed.
Sometimes in these series and I guess games during the regular season too, but more so in like playoff series, is like sometimes one team is just significantly better than the other. And I really do think that is the case here with this matchup. I just think the Canes are better at pretty much every area of the ice. My keys for the Capitals, again, I'll say it, they have to find a way to turn the tides on the special teams battle. Like they're going to have to figure out a way to score on the power play, and then their penalty kill is going to have to do a better job. They need to protect Thompson better. I mean, this guy's just been getting bombarded with shots. You're not going to win this series if your goaltender's taking 35 plus shots a night. It's just not going to happen. So, more ozone time. Better in your own end, score on the power play. All that being said, I still am going to be taking the Canes to win this, although I'm not really putting myself out there and making a big prediction here, because they are minus 275 favorites on the sports book tonight. So I'll take the Hurricanes to win 3-1 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to agree with you, but yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like the Canes game. I don't know for sure if they're gonna, go on to win in 5, or maybe the Caps can still take one, back home. But for this game, yeah, I think Canes go, 2 for 2 at home. It just feels like that's the way they played too well. They played way too well that Game 3 for me to think it's just gonna suddenly flip on its head there. So, and the Caps are just gonna look like the regular season merchants there. So yeah, I think we'll take this one. I think it'll be a close one, low scoring, which that tends to be how most Canes games are played. I will say 3-2. There you go. Yeah.
And Justin, like I also don't see there being a possibility of like this Canes team getting comfortable and admiring their work through 3 games.
They're not the type of team that does that.
They're not the type of team that does that, and I think a lot of that is because of Rod Brindamore. Like I just don't think he's gonna let these guys get in that mindset, and so I think we're gonna see the same Canes team performance that we've seen in the first few here. So I'm gonna be taking the Canes tonight.
They really play that to a T, man. I mean, religiously, those players follow the system. Yeah. And it's like, it'd be nice for them. Like, it feels like they've been so close, man. A lot of second, third round exits. The conference finals tend to be their undoing. I can't even tell you last time they won a conference finals game. Like, they've been swept, like, I don't even know how many times. It's been a lot now. So it's like, if they could come like the series quick, 5 games, maybe the Florida Toronto series stretches.
Yep.
Maybe that could be an advantage. I mean, it isn't always an advantage, especially for this team. Like they've kind of been in these situations before. Nothing really new there, but I think just take care of business here. No drama. Be as rested and ready to go for round 3 as you can. Like you're kind of already, hate to say like 2-1 series, like you're already thinking ahead, but you probably are. And this is one of the few teams like the way they play where it's like they can afford to get a lead and kind of sit back a little. Like that's kind of the way they play. So it's worked for them. So, but yeah, I'd say it could be. That could be dangerous, though, against this Washington team. So I would still be wary of that. I think, I got to keep your foot on the gas and, just keep playing the way you are. Yeah.
Not to get ahead of myself, but I'm going to get ahead of myself. If you're the Hurricanes, who would you rather play in the conference finals? Like, I know probably the knee jerk is to say you'd rather play Toronto, but, like, I don't know. Just like the way Toronto plays, also them having the home ice advantage, like the Canes play so much better at home. Like I think you could definitely make a case that you'd rather play Florida almost in the conference finals. Maybe I'm tweaking on that. You can tell me if I am.
I mean, there's something to be said where I'd say their style of play more closely reminisces Florida than Toronto. So would you rather play a team that kind of tries to play like you, or would you rather play Toronto where it's like they have a lot of top end talent, but it's like they could theoretically shut that down with their system, and then it's like they got nothing going. So I guess from that standpoint, I could sort of see your point there, but I thought that could easily the same argument could be made the other way. I think if it was me, I'd still rather play Toronto. Like this Florida team's been there, the finals, they've been there, done that. They're too good of a team. Like I think if you try to play Florida's game, like you're gonna get killed. So I'd rather play a team like Toronto where you can expose them more easily. Maybe. Yeah.
I guess I just like I think of like the Toronto offensive firepower, and I think that like I could see a series going very bad for the Canes where they try to play this like really grind you down series where Toronto just is able to put a bunch of pucks in the back of the net. And I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
There's something to be said for that. They definitely would have the edge in that. Maybe they could. We've talked about a lot where it's like Anderson's look good, but like how are you looking at a team like that? Yeah, I mean, there's an argument there, yeah, for sure. But I don't think it's gonna come to that point for them. I think we feel pretty good about Florida. So yeah, it's gonna be the Cats probably, and they faced them before and got swept. So we'll see if they can make it different this time. Yeah.
Okay, and then the later game tonight, the 8:30, 8:40 puck drop probably will actually be a little later than that because I'd imagine this Caps Hurricanes game isn't going to be done by 8:30, but we'll see. The Vegas Golden Knights versus the Edmonton Oilers, game 4 in Edmonton still. I mean, we said it, obviously talking about the games this weekend, but and we're calling this a must-win for both teams. And I do think whoever wins this game wins the series.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally fair to say. I mean, I think definitely more so in the case of, I will still say more so in the case of the Oilers, where it's like if they take a 3-1 lead, like they're not going to blow that. I could still see Vegas winning this game and even up the series. I could still see the Oilers coming away with it. I do see your point though, where it's like this could be the Kings series flipped on its head against the Oilers in a reverse card, and Vegas, rise the momentum, get back home and look like themselves and kind of take it from there. So I think for the Oilers though, it's like, like you take that 2-0 lead, like you don't want to have the series evened up back home. Like that would be a failure in that part. So I could see that coming back to bite them. So yeah, it really feels like as much of a must-win game for them as it does for Vegas, honestly. I mean, you can make the argument. So unfortunately for them, they will have to rely on Stuart Skinner yet again. Calvin Pickard is still out, and they have not won a game with Stuart Skinner. So they got to do that. They got to find a way to win with that guy in net. And the way he's looked at these playoffs, that's a tall task to say the least, but it's not just him. They got to at least get some competent defense, right? I mean, but they haven't really had that. So, I mean, they try, stay on their head. They've been doing it, but I mean, is it sustainable to go to the cup? I don't know. I mean, they almost did it last year. They could easily do it again, but against a team like Vegas, to win 4 games like that is asking for a lot, but they could easily do it. Yeah.
I'm leaning Oilers in this game, to be honest with you. I know Skinner being back in net is a little daunting, but I just really like the idea of a pissed off Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Look, I mean, even on Saturday in the loss, both those guys both still had 2 points. Like it's like it feels like they're good for 2 points every single night. I'm going to be looking for a good response from the Oilers, winning this one, going back to Vegas up 3-1. I'll say this is going to be a 5-3 win for the Oilers. I think it's going to be a goal-heavy one.
Really? You think Everton Oilers game is going to have a lot of goals? So.
Yeah, really going.
I would agree with that
here with that
assessment.
one.
Lee thought I got Oilers prediction right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I could agree with you. I could disagree with something for once. You have the Oilers. I think Vegas could even the series up. I said it before. Like I teed it up. I think moments like that could be a game changer. Like Oilers probably should have a 3-0 lead right now, and yet they don't. I mean, I think that moment there, that late goal from Riley Smith could be momentum goal that Vegas rides here, and I think they're going to keep doing it. And I think they're going to edge out I'll say 4-2 dub against Edmonton. So that's actually a pretty low scoring game by Oilers standards, but I'll say 4-2 Vegas. I was going to say 4-3, but I'm not going to say 4-3 again. So 4-2, fourth goal is probably an empty netter. There you go. Yeah.
If you've been following my Oilers predictions all playoffs long, you probably know to maybe lean towards the side of Justin, but I like the Oilers tonight. I just think that I'm never going to have a problem betting on or leaning towards McDry in an important game when they've looked good. It's not like Draisaitl and has looked quiet and hasn't been doing much, and now we're going to need a big game out of him. Like, they've been firing, they've been clicking. I think we're going to see more of it tonight, but we'll see. I'm sure I'll end up being wrong again somehow.
Lee, this could be the turning point, because if I recall, it was last series where I held my guns to that Oilers team, and this time it's you. So that could be the turning point here. We shall see. But I always said, though, this Edmonton team, it's like they're good, but are they cup good? I don't know.
I didn't think so either, but just with the way they can score goals, I could.
It will. Yeah.
Like they could go to the Stanley Cup Finals this year. Like,
they could.
I did not think that in the first round. Like, I was like, there's no way this can happen. But from what I've seen, it's like, geez, this team really is capable of and you want to get Calvin Pickard back, because I mean, he has been straight up better than Stuart Skinner. And not only has he been better than Stuart Skinner, you also made this point when we were talking about the games from this weekend, but it just feels like this Oilers team plays better and with more confidence in front of Calvin Pickard.
They very clearly do. Like, they probably deny it, but it seems very apparent to me. Like I said, I don't think it's coincidence that they've won all their games with Pickard and lost them all Skinner. Like, I think eventually that trend's got to stop. Like, they can't just rely on that, especially Pickard too. Like, he's eventually gonna lose a game too. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just not sustainable. Yeah.
And I'm like, this trend of me picking wrong for all these Oilers games also has to come to an end eventually. And
you would think, right?
I think it's going to be tonight. Evan in chat said incoming Vegas win after Lee pick. Okay.
We shall see. Only you could jinx Edmonton there. But I will say, I mean, Vegas is a damn good team, but it's a better team, Dallas. Like, even if the Oilers come away with the series, like, I think that's going to be the team, I think, that probably exposed them, if it's not Vegas. But we shall see. I love to get ahead of myself here, but I can't help but do that. Yeah.
My keys for Edmonton, Lee's keys for Edmonton to win tonight. Keep your foot on the gas for 60 minutes. I mean, obviously, you don't even have to say McJesus and Draisaitl. You know they're going to perform. You know they're going to score tonight. Yeah. You got to keep your foot on the gas the entire 60 minutes. You cannot try to start playing defensive hockey. You have to go and pile on offensively. Hill has not looked great in this.
He's been
playoffs.
shaky. Yeah, I would say he's probably been like, after Skinner, he's probably the second worst goalie in his playoffs, honestly. Maybe that's stretching a little bit. Second worst of goalies left. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Even Hellebuck, I'd probably say, is better than him, that's shocking to say. But yeah, he's not looked good. So if that's one thing for Edmonton, where it's like you probably feel pretty good about that. You're going to get your cookies. You're going to get your goals. But yeah, for Skinner, if there's one guy who should be able to out goalie, probably the way he's looked lately, you think it'd be him. But we shall see. Yeah.
Yes, we will. Excited for that one tonight. Okay, let's move on to Tuesday. It's only one game. It's Jets versus Stars, and we are going to be streaming this, as I mentioned. What are you feeling for this one? What do you got here?
Oh, am I going to bring up that word again? No, I'm not. Like this series already kind of feels like it's over, so I'm not going to say it's a must-win for the Jets. It's 2-1. I know. I know it's 2-1 series, but they won the President. I do not care if they won the President's Trophy. Like this Dallas team is too damn good, man. And I don't see this Jets team like they have not won a single game on the road, and I don't think that's going to change. Like I think, yeah, no, this will be the last road game they play because they'll lose Game 5 at home, I believe. Well, we shall see about that. Not to get ahead of myself again, but no, I think Dallas takes the commanding 3-1 lead at home, and that's what I see playing out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Jets have just not looked good on the road all postseason long. I think that this first line for the Stars is just on an absolute heater. It's going to take an extremely impressive performance from Connor Hellebuck and the Winnipeg Jets to pull this one out. I think my keys for the Jets to win this is you got to score first. You can't be chasing this game. Like I think if the Jets are chasing the game against this team, they've been due for like a 5-minute stretch of really bad hockey on the road. So if we're banking on that coming here in Game 4, you've got to get out to a lead to be able to combat that.
And like they have to get off to a lead. Like I don't think just scoring the first goal is going to be enough because
like
they did
2?
score the first goal. Like they need some Geico insurance. Like they need like a 2-3 goal. Yeah, the 2-goal lead's most dangerous lead in hockey. So they need a 3-goal lead. And even then, I don't know if it'd be safe because like I just never feel safe with this Jets team. Like for whatever reason, like just there's always like we said it before. Like it just always seems to get away from the road. But like they got to solve that, right? You think like we talked about inevitabilities. Like you would think they'd be able to find one game on the road. Like this team's surely good enough. Like they'd be able to win one, find a way. So if it's now or never. It's got to happen tonight. If it doesn't happen tonight, it's not going to happen. Period. It's over. So yeah, for the Jets, some desperation hockey maybe. I mean, probably don't have to play desperation, but I think they do. Honestly,
Yeah,
because,
I think
it's a pretty damn game for them. Yeah, they can't really afford to play the same way. I mean, we've seen it. You keep playing the same way. The definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expect a different result. They're just going to get killed. So yeah, the Jets just got to find a way. Yeah, I mean, that will say like the Stars. If there's one weakness, like. I mean, yeah, especially with Heiskanen, like without Harley's been a great. He's filled in pretty nicely. He's been a 1D. They got Lindell, but like the defense isn't outstanding with Heiskanen out. Like it's not amazing.
No, it's not. I'd argue that it's not good. You got Labushkin and Bichelle back there. Like, what are we doing here? And yeah, no, I don't think it's overly impressive. You got to tackle those guys.
That's what I'm saying. If there's one thing you think you'd be able to expose, it'd be that Dallas team. Like you're going to get goals. Like you have talent on this team. Like you're healthy now. Like that's not. There's no asterisk around that now. They're healthier, so yeah, they should be able to get their goals. Yeah, they got to have Hellbuck's got to have he's got to step up. Like he's got to have a solid. He's got to look like himself on the road. We haven't seen it yet. Not just him, the whole team, but especially him because it runs through him. The tough thing with Dallas though is like the D isn't the best, but you got Otter back there.
Yeah, who's been
so
awesome.
clutch in the playoffs. So unlike Helly, so yeah, like we'll see that battle keep developing, and I think that'll probably have greater ramifications down the road. But yeah, I think like I said, yeah, it feels like it's inevitable for Dallas, but for the Jets, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen now. Yeah.
Before I ask you for a score prediction in this one, I will say that the odds are much closer in this one than say like the Canes Caps game tonight. Dallas are only a -145 favorite, which is it's not a pick 'em, but it's not anything overwhelming. Winnipeg at a +125 underdog. I guess maybe decent value there just because I do think they're going to be playing desperate hockey tomorrow. Yeah. I'd still lean Dallas though. But what's your score prediction here?
I think it's going to be another high-scoring game. A lot of high-scoring games have been saying, but I'll say 5-3 Stars. I think another 5 goal before one from Hellebuck on the road. It's a pretty safe prediction there. So that's what I shall say. Yeah.
Okay. I'll say 4-2 Stars, maybe a little lower scoring, although I think the over-under line is set at 5.5, so that would be an over. But yeah, I think maybe like a marginal lead most of the game for the Stars, and then they score an empty netter to make it 4-2. Mikko Rantanen has 2 points. Roope Hintz scores. I think that's probably my prediction for Tuesday.
That's unreal, man. Like this guy, 18 points in 10 games. Like he's on pace for like almost 40 in these playoffs. So
I just want to see how far he can take this. And I feel horrible for Colorado Avalanche fans. Like imagine being a Colorado Avalanche fan right now, like seeing this guy, like one of your favorite players that, I mean, this guy helped them win a Stanley Cup. and then have your team, your organization, nickel and dime
Yeah.
him over a few $100,000 per year, send him off. He ends up back in the same division to a divisional rival and just cooks
That's
you.
gotta be hell to
Cooks
watch.
you and then continues to cook after you're golfing. Like, oh man, that sucks. So I just want to see how far Mikko Rantanen can take this. I'm rooting for the guy, to be honest with you. I want to keep this. I want to keep this heater going.
I'm on his side. I wasn't always on his side initially because I didn't have all the facts of the case, but as I've gathered all the facts and the evidence, it's like, no, I don't feel bad for. I feel bad for Abs fans. I don't feel bad for the organization.
No,
like
not at all.
They did this themselves, and the players. I'm sure McKinnon he's probably not feeling too great right now in that squad. But yeah, it's like, dude, you lost. This is different from situations that we've had where it's like we've been past our prime, not in the playoffs, but it's like, dude, like you're losing this guy, Mikko Rantanen, one of your franchise players in his prime. Like you win a cup with him. Probably should have won more than a cup, to be honest. Like, I thought that Abs team probably could have been like a Hawks dynasty type of team, and I don't think that's going to happen at this point. I think that was their opportunity and they threw it away. They're still going to be good, but I don't know if another cup's going to be coming back there. Honestly, I know they still got that core bunch there, but without Rantanen, man, it's like I was making jokes before when Rantanen was producing about McKinnon and all that, but it's like maybe it's the other way around. Maybe they need Rantanen.
No,
who knows?
stop.
I'm just kidding.
I don't think it's anything like that. It's just like, it's a superstar that's, that's been so good for you in years past. And I think now it's I don't think this Colorado Avalanche team is going to reach Blackhawk status of winning 3 Stanley Cups. They might be able to win another one over the next few years. Like they still do have 2 probably top 5 players in the entire NHL.
Oh yeah,
so,
and they got a decent supporting cast.
So they're always going to be there. They're always going to have the opportunity. But man,
you got to run through Rantanen. And I think that's a big part of why he wanted to go to Dallas, man. It's like as a Carolina, he was away from them. It's like you're barely going to see them, man. If you're Mikko Rantanen, it's like, man, I want to be in the same division. I want to be a team that's just as good. And I want to stick it to them, and I want them to never win again as long as I'm in the league on this team for the next 8 years, making the money probably would have been making in Colorado anyway if it just would have ponied up. So it's actually pretty poetic the more I think about it. So I think that's exactly what he's thinking. He seems like a revenge type of guy. I think you've seen it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's admitted that too. That he's like, I fucking want to. Yeah, I want to. I want to do this to these guys. And also, dude, it's that's a good point about Dallas too. Is it's like, Colorado's gonna be good for the next few years, like obviously, but it's like Dallas is not going anywhere. They've got all these guys like wrapped up long term. Like they've got Hintz for several more years. They've got Robertson for like one more season, but obviously they signed the Rantanen deal, and then they just extended Johnston, and then they just extended Otter, and then they've got Harley for another year. Yeah. It's like this team, they've got Lindell here for a while. They've got Heiskanen wrapped up long term. It's like this team's gonna be very good for a long time now. And
it's true. And I did say when they beat the Abs, it's like anything less than a cup win would be a failure. But it's like, that being said, if they don't win the cup this year, it's not like it's done for this court. They still have an opportunity. They still have a window here for a while to win the cup. But I just think it's sports. Like when you're rolling, and it's like you have that type of cinematic victory. It's like you want to go all the way. And I think if you could beat the Avs team, theoretically, you should be able to beat anybody. So
I agree.
They're still, honestly, they are my favorite. Honestly, I would even favor them above Florida right now. I think Florida would be my number 2. That's where I'd say it. It feels like it's going to be Dallas, Florida. We could be wrong, but it feels inevitable. Yeah.
I agree with you there. I also do think that there was more pressure on Colorado to come in and win this year than there was Dallas.
Like, way more. Way more. You don't want to lose the guy you just
constructed.
traded. And I'd say their window's open, but probably not as open as Dallas's is. So if it definitely felt like more of a must win for them, and you get Gabe back too after that. Like that's just so anticlimactic. Get that guy back to be out and win one round, and he was good too. So, but that'll be another interesting thing to follow because like those two are such good friends too. So maybe Landeskog will be able to repay the favor eventually. We shall see. Yeah,
we will. Okay, I think that's it for the show, to be honest with
you.
There's
one more thing I want to say, actually. There's one more thing. It's not prospect related, but we did talk about a little bit on Friday about the NHL quarter century team, and good to see Patrick Kane there. That's all well and good, but I gotta say, I think it's pretty disappointing the lack of Jonathan Toews and Duncan Keith on that list, especially Jonathan Toews. Like, are you kidding me? Top 25 players of the 21st century, and Jonathan Toews isn't on that list. in his prime, he was probably right after Crosby and Ovechkin. It was him. Like, it's easy to forget that, man. Like, people forget how good
Taves
prime
really
Jonathan
was
Toews
the guy.
Like,
Like, people
yeah.
look back more as like
He was
Kane.
better than Kane. Like, when the Hawks were winning cups, Taves was the best player.
He was so impactful because he was a producer. He was a point producer. He scored a lot, but he was matched up against the other team's best player every single game, every single
He didn't
series.
put up crazy numbers. But it
Playing on the
wasn't his
PK,
game.
like Jonathan Taze did everything. Jonathan Taze was our Sasha Barkov.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. And that was in an era when scoring was much lower. So it's like you look at his stats, they might not jump off the page, but it's like, dude, in his prime, he was close to a point per game, and he was the best defensive player in the game. But everybody always loves the Glaze, Patrice Bergeron. Prime Jonathan Taze clears. I mean, longevity maybe not quite as much, but I don't really care as much about that. I care about a player at his peak. What was he like? And peak Jonathan Taze, prime Jonathan Taze. I'd take him in a Game 7 playoffs over almost anybody. So I do think that was quite a shame to leave him off the list. And there are some people there that he probably should have been there above, but I won't delve into that. And Keith as well. I mean, that one a little less so. Like, that one's not quite as clear cut, but I mean, he won multiple Norris trophies. I don't think a lot of other defensemen in this era have. I mean, he walked so Cale Makar could run. So yeah, I don't really know about that one too.
Yeah, and I think Tampa Bay Lightning fans were pretty upset too because I think Stamkos was the only guy from that team to
really
make yeah. So it's like I mean you got because I don't think Vasi made it. So it's like you got Vasi, Hedman, Kucherov all being off. You got Taze off. You got Keith off.
Yeah, one Hawk. I mean, the Hawks have won 3 cups. I mean, and you can't ignore Patrick Kane. Like, there is no argument. Like, he's
of course
probably the third best, like, after Ovechkin and Crosby. So, like, of course Kane's going to be there. Like, there's no argument there. There's at least a sort of an argument for Taze and Keith. But yeah, the fact that he's the only one is pretty shocking, to be honest with you. But it doesn't. I mean, it's shocking I say that, but I feel like we're kind of grown used to this at this point. The Hawks hate and slander. So maybe
I also think this kind of stuff is like inevitable, right? Like it's a tough decision. You can only take 25 guys. You know, every single fan base is going to have guys that they're like, seriously, this guy isn't on it. So
yeah, but we have a little more where it's like we have the credentials to show for compared to other fan bases where it's like, okay, we won cups with these guys. So it's like a lot of the players that people are pulling for, it's like, did they really win anything? You know, so I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. It's not really that deep, but yeah, I thought it was worth.
I'm glad you brought it up. I do like complaining about those things too. So I'm with you on that. All right. Thank you guys all so much for listening, watching, viewing today. We really appreciate it. We're going to be back Wednesday, Friday for regularly scheduled shows. Streams Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. So do not miss those. They've been so much fun. So we'll see you there. If you're watching or listening or whatever, and you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do so. Please do so. We're trying to hit 1,000 by the end of this playoff run. And we need your help to get there. So hit that subscribe button and hit that post notification bell just so you know when we go live. It sends you a notification, keeps it really easy. You can just click on it, head to the stream, head to the podcast. Really simple. Follow the Instagram, Chicago Hockey Radio, if you haven't yet. And then if you listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star rating and review. All these things move the needle for us. And you know, we want to continue to bring this sort of content to you next year as well. So please help us out and do that stuff. And I know most of you that watch every single day have already done all those things. We appreciate you. We notice you. It's so funny when like people come into the streams that are new. Like I don't even have to say anything. Chat will be like, "Are you new here? You should subscribe." So
join us.
Yeah. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. It is like a fam here at CHR. We love this community. And yeah, we just want it to continue to grow. So yes, please do all that stuff for us, and we will see you tomorrow night for a stream. Peace.